as opposed to 51 he's previously been in. And congratulations as well to Luke Edwards, making his league debut for the Dogs, for the Tigers rather, son of course of Tyson and brother Jackson out there. So John, two sets of brothers out there at the moment.
Yeah, the Edwards boys for the Tigers and the Schiller boys for the Doggies.
So the umpires in today's game, we've got Giles Lewis, Michael Schramm, Tom Bryce. Sorry, I apologise, that was the reserve. Sam Morgan, Andrew Crosby, David Soberage officiating in the league game here. Max Proud, the Glenelg captain, won the toss. The Tigers are going to be kicking to the northern end. And your first caller is John Nankerville.
So Hanneth knows this ground well in the ruck for the Bays. Leaping high Thompson, as he likes to do. Little toe poke from Hanneth. Running onto it, Jared Schiller. Little handball came up. Missed the mark. Players from both sides crashing and bashing. Umpire's whistle has gone. Free kick the Dogs. Gillard takes the advantage over to Jared Schiller. He pumps them inside 50 over everybody's heads. Long sleeves, number 42. It's Johnny Butcher over the top to Stevenson, the Coolum grasshopper. What can he do? Works the handball back nicely to Menzel. Hooks it back. Hanneth had it, lost it. Immediately tackled, shot out a handball. Chance for the Tigers now. They work it round with hands. Max Proud was good to Parks. And Parks loads up and kicks out towards half-back. Working hard at ground level, the former Port Adelaide Magpie, Reynolds had it. Stoppage though, 60 from the goal for Central. And we've gone about a minute in this first term. Positive start from Central. They need to get something out of it as Hanneth wins it down. Loose ball, Hoskin tries to bust his way through. Gets a second up, got it up to Weaver. Got a kick of sorts, Gillard trapped it. He's been trapped by Motlop. And there'll be a ball up at 50 for Central. No score on the board. 90 seconds gone first term.
Nick Gillard gives the footy back to the umpire. It was good against the Eagles last week with a couple of goals. No, Doggies ruckman contested this one. Jack Hanneth against his former club gets it down towards Agnew. The kick out of defensive 50s only momentarily as Harble for the Dogs. The captain kicks towards the arc of 50. Menzel with the one hand outstretched. Can't quite keep it in play. Good work defensively by Andrew Bradley. And the Tigers' former captain escorts the ball over the line. So we've got 2 minutes in this opening term. Neither side yet to score. The Bulldogs in the red, white and blue against Glenelg in the black and gold. The Doggies rather kicking to the club rooms or southern end here at Elizabeth. Ball's thrown back into play. Butcher will do the ruck work for the Dogs. Takes front position. Hits it down looking for Travis Schiller. Brother Jared in over the top. Scramble on for the ball. Travis Schiller just gets up clutching the hand. He's coming straight to the bench, I think, with a dislocated finger, John.
Hopefully they can pop that in quickly. They can be nasty, though.
In a world of pain is Travis Schiller, replaced by James Boyd, is back at the action. Menzel gives it off now to Jared Schiller. Inside 50, attacking it nicely, Hoskin. Defensively, Park did well. Now it's in the hands of Durden. Corey Durden kicks towards the top of the goals. It isn't going to quite register a score. Stevenson there, well done by Proud, and the Tigers will clear momentarily through the avenue of Nicholson, John.
So Nicholson, on that occasion, kick fell short, chance for the Dogs. Kelly got a handball out. Socket kick towards Toner, who loads it up back towards the big fly from Durden at the back. Couldn't be taken. Bradley, handball was a bit hot for him. Jared Schiller was good. Hoskin snaps, and Hoskin goes. Very dangerous man to have lurking with the footy inside that 50. The Doggies get the first goal here at the Ponderosa. 3 minutes gone first term. They lead by 6 points.
Yeah, good snap around the body. Clever finish from Justin Hoskin, who, John, you called against Norwood a few weeks ago. He certainly knows where the goals are, and the perfect start for the Bulldogs, John.
Yeah, good stuff from Hoskin. Plays 150th a couple of weeks ago here against the Roosters, and he certainly knows how to kick a goal. And now Central, they've had most of the play from this point. They now just need to keep pushing, keep making the most of these opportunities. They've looked good the first few minutes. They can't die away.
Justin Hoskin, one of a few former Port Magpies players out there, 44 games in the black and white. Kicks the opening goal of the contest. So we're back in the middle. It'll be Thompson for the Bulldogs. Competes up against Hanneth. The clearance should go the way of the Tigers, and it's through the avenue there of Agnew, a former defender, rejuvenated his career as a midfielder. Inside attacking 50 for the first time for the Bays. Well done by the Glenelg player and Reynolds up against his direct opponent, Montgomery. Montgomery comes up a little gingerly, but escorts the aforementioned Tigers player over the boundary line. So right inside attacking 50, about 40 metres out from goal. Left forward pocket down there at the northern end here at Ex-Convenience Oval. The Dogs drew first blood through Hoskin. They're 1 straight 6. Glenelg get to score. 4 gone first term. McBean with the hit out down to his teammate there in Agnew. The snap around the body, looking for Reynolds, but punched through for a minor score. Good work down there defensively by Nick Madden. So the Tigers have their first score on the day. It's a behind. They're one behind. They trail the Bulldogs, who are 1 straight 6, 4.5 gone, first term.
So Toner to bring the footy back into play. We'll come out and run through this left back pocket. Handball's over the top. Get it back in the 1-2. Toner at defensive 50. Wobbly sort of kick in the end. And Glenelg will take the free kick here through Jackson Edwards. He goes short and finds Snook at half forward. So last year's Jack Odie medalist Snook drives the bays inside 50. Bouncing ball over the head there of Thompson. Handball came out. Boyd picks up a touch, goes short and finds Menzel underneath the scoreboard, which shows Central by 5 points. 5 gone first term. Menzel doesn't look to be in any great hurry to clear this. He does so now. And it's not a great kick. It's landed in the arms of Nicholson. So Nicholson at half forward for the Tigers. Just slow and meandering at the moment, the football. Menzel gets in the way again and takes a nice mark for the Dogs. And he will lumber across the face of goal with a little chip kick and go short. And the Dogs some run from defence now through Madden.
So Madden chips short, one of those former Magpies out there. He finds a teammate in Durden who's had a good start to the contest. Just breaks away from his opponent, ran his absolute full measure. Kicks the ball into some space. First player there looks to be Gillard for the Dogs, but he overran the footy. Good work in there from Langy, lends support. Got away from Edwards of the Tigers, Jackson Variety. Nick Langy now goes inside, attacking 50. The kick a poor one. Chopped off nicely there by Matty Snook. Playing down in defence by the looks of this. He's got the job there on Hoskin. The kick is a good one. The toes in the end marked there by Yates. Evades the opponent there in Toner. Kicks in board. A dangerous kick, but sitting under it and taking a nice mark, Klusky. He gives off now to Hanneth, the big man. Used to these surroundings. Beautiful kick, releases Bailey. He can mark. Plays on inside, attacking 50. Runs to 30. Takes a bounce, steady himself, and kicks the Tigers' opening goal. Darcy Bailey with a major. 6.5 gone in the first term. And the Tigers take the lead. They're 1-1-7. Central 1 straight 6. Transition footy from the bays there. John caught the Doggies napping.
It certainly did. Bailey finishing with a nice goal. But as you said, it was great transition from the Tigers. And Bailey, a very, very good footballer, Darcy. But he probably doesn't get the kudos he really deserves. And he finished with a nice goal on that occasion after a well-worked-out set play by the Tigers. And they now take the lead by a point.
Yeah, of course, Darcy, son of Dean, who, of course, tragically passed away a few seasons ago, but made his debut back in 2015, did the 26-year-old, and currently keeping it in the family, John, dating one of the Tigers' women's players, Ellen Tominski, so they'll be able to talk footy on the couch during the week. They
will indeed. As Hanneth in the ruck there against Thompson, that bounce favouring Thompson, wins it down. Trav Schiller got it up to Olsen, he's dispossessed, free kick, Bailey. The goal scorer goes long, looking there for his teammate in Snook, fisted away from him. Reynolds tight on the line, thought about the handball. Here's the voice, goes back there looking for Yates over his head. Agnew was good, and now the snap on goal for the Tigers is just away to the left and through for one behind from Allen. So it's a 6-point lead to, or should I say a 2-point lead to Glenelg, and we've gone 8 minutes first term.
The Dogs take the kick out through Toner. Impressed on debut a couple of weeks ago against North Adelaide here at Ex-Convenience Oval. It's marked by Boyd. Premiership player for the Doggies, way back in 2010. Kicks to that outer side, looking for Stevenson. Well done out there by Park for the Tigers. Soccering it off the ground was Stretch. Couldn't quite take it cleanly. Coming through now for the Dogs is Olsen. The former Redleg gives back to James Boyd on his third SANFL club. He'll chip short and find the Dogs goal kicker in Hoskin. So just backward of centre wing on that outer side, Justin Hoskin. One-time Port Power rookie. Kicks long down the line. He's going to a contest. Hanneth has dropped back for the Tigers. Couldn't quite take it. Good spoil in the end from Butcher. Brings it to ground level. Forces a stoppage. Corey Durden scrambling for the footy. Left half forward. About 75, 80 metres out from the Dogs' goal. They trail by 2 points. 9 minutes gone first term. Hanneth takes the ruck hit out uncontested. Ends up in the hands now of Weir. Made his debut a few weeks ago. Looking down the line for McBean. Patterson there to apply some good pressure. Numbers should win out for the Dogs, and Harble, the captain, kicks around the corner, but intercepting it there. Partington couldn't quite take it. On hands and knees trying to extricate the footy there was Stretch. And the umpire says nothing doing. Young Sam Morgan, the men in green, one of 3 out there. So it's 9.5 gone. It's the Bays leading by 2 points. The next voice you'll hear will be John Nankerville.
Hanneth won it down the ruck only as far as Boyd. Ball in dispute. Comes up now, Partington. The reigning Magarey medalist. Quick kick to half forward. Madden couldn't trap it. Did well on the second occasion. Got it up there to Montgomery. His handball. Missed the target. Little give over the top. Glenelg working it nicely. Chance for Edwards with a little check kick bouncing in the square. Snook will run on and Snook will kick the goal. So Glenelg worked that out nicely. Little kick across the body there from the debutant Luke Edwards on the bounce taken by Snook in the goal square. And the Tigers, after Central started strongly, taking an early advantage 10 minutes into this first term.
Yeah, good finish there from Snook, and a little unlucky for Luke Edwards on debut. The ball kind of sat up on its end. I thought Snook might have escorted it through for the young fella to get his league debut goal, but nonetheless the Tigers take advantage of that opportunity. And John, don't like to single players out, but the handball from Montgomery did prove very costly in the end. He's
been very good lately for the Doggies, Montgomery. That on occasion just probably panicked a bit when he found the man tackling him, and out came the hospital handball, and the rest is history.
10.5 gone. The Tigers out to a game-high 8-point lead. James Boyd in the middle. Travis Schiller back out there for the Dogs, so they'll be pleased. The fans will be pleased to know that finger seems to be okay. Clearance going the way there of Agnew. Got a handball of sorts out. The umpires deemed it to be holding the ball. So good decision from umpire Soberage. And it's the big ruckman there in Brodie Thompson who lumbers away. Kicks towards half forward. McCarthy front position does well and takes it for the Tigers opposed to his direct opponent there in Jordan O'Brien. So McCarthy back in the side this week. Chips laterally and finds a running teammate there in Bradley. The boy from Kybe Bowlight. Chips short again and finds Weir. Weir just forward of centre wing broadcast side over the top now. Good ball movement from the Tigers in the hands there of Motlop. Feigns this way, goes that way. Kicks inside attacking 50. The Dogs have numbers back. Patterson there just tapped it to the advantage of Olsen who overran it. Coming through again. Patterson needs to get it the footy out now. He's going to be in trouble, is he? No. Umpire Crosby says my ball. 11.5 gone, deep inside, attacking 50 for the Bays. They're kicking down to the southern end. Phil Aspinall, John Nankerville on the digital pass and SANFL radio coverage. McBean front position, down there to Agnew, off to Weir, gives it back to Motlop, threads his way through some traffic. Now to the first game at Edwards. McBean's kick partially smothered by Olsen. On hands and knees, the Dogs should be able to get it out of defensive 50, and it's through Ollie Shaw. They'll clear towards half-back flank.
So the Dogs bring it out towards half-back. They're unfortunately not able to complete the mark down there. Good pressure on Bradley, though. That was young Grubb, who recovered nicely and then gave Edwards a shove over.
Got a big future, young Lachlan Grubb, just 17 years of age. John doesn't turn 18 till December. Debuted last week in the game that you called with Wayne Wiedemann, and a speedster. Won the grand final sprint at half-time last year of the grand final.
Hanneth won it down. Little handball came out to Agnew. Olsen, though, for the Dogs, got up to Toner. Toner to the Doggies' goal scorer, Hoskin, goes short, and Central can settle it down through Patterson. He chips short over the head of Olsen. Got support there from Montgomery, whose handball also misses the target. Just fumbling around with it a bit, the Dogs. Opens the door for Partington, and Partington says, I'm going to make you pay, Doggies. I'm going to make you pay big time, because you don't fumble when I'm lurking near the goals. He gets his first. And Glenelg, well, they're running away with this one. 3-2-20. Central's one straight 6.
Yeah, 2 of the 3 goals for the Tigers, John, from very basic skill errors from the Dogs. And unfortunately, Montgomery again just missing a target. But full credit to the Tigers forwards who applied that pressure. And Partington, class with a capital C, the former West Coast Eagle and Norwood Redleg, kicks truly and extends the Tigers' lead.
Yeah, you just can't be mucking around with it like that across half-back when you've got players like Partington lurking, and he made them pay. And good to see the reigning Magarey medalist getting into this contest.
So back in the middle, John Butcher's going to do the ruck against Jack Hanneth. Butcher in number 42, after previously playing at the Dogs in 12, and this year has been wearing 51. Got the long sleeve on at the moment, and on cue, want to hit out down to Travis Schiller. The clearance for the Dogs. He'll kick to half forward, looking for Durden. Well done by Michael Virgin. Boyd crumbs it at the front of the pack, feigns the handball, comes back in Boyd with a hand pass back now to Travis Schiller. He's got some players surrounding him. The kick looking for Durden, traps it nicely. Goes inside 50, and Stevenson on the lead takes the mark in the outstretched fingertips. So right forward pocket, Murray Stevenson goes over the top looking for Menzel, and Troy Menzel has marked down at the southern end, tucked right up against the boundary line fence in the right forward pocket.
Not an easy shot, but these are the ones a player of Menzel's skill has to kick for the Dogs to win today and be competitive as a team.
And he's on the right side for a left footer, if you get what I'm saying. So So Troy Menzel, 40 games of SANFL statewide footy for the Crows. Kick across the face, a poor one, and intercepting, taking the mark there for the Tigers is Hanneth. So big Jack Hanneth, former Fremantle Docker, and of course Central Bulldog. Finds a teammate in Allen, who chips in board now and finds McCarthy, and the Bays are away with some run at half-back, and it's now with Callum Park, John.
As Callum Park takes a bounce, long, direct kick, looking there for McBean, thumped away from him. Good pressure, though, by the Bays. That was young Weir, the Robe Junior, with the tackle, just keeping it in Glenelg's area, keeping it in their 50. And the umpire will ball this one up. McBean in the ruck. From the side, Edwards was good. Hurried kick, knocked down, but lurking there, Bailey, but his kick touched and rushed through for a behind. So opportunity going begging for the Tigers. They go to 3-3-21, Central 1 straight 6, 15 gone first term.
So Nick Madden will take the kick out for the Doggies. The team trailing by 14 points. The Dogs not the greatest of first quarters. They've only won one first quarter and lost 5 compared to the Tigers, who are 4-2. And Madden's kick goes to that outer side, and it looks as though it's a free kick for hanging on. Coming further up the field, a bit of confusion there for Troy Menzel, who took the mark, but it's coming further forward now to Murray Stevenson. So Stevenson, a normal defender, switched to a forward line player the last couple of seasons, and he'll chip short and find Travis Schiller. One of 2 sets of brothers out there, Jared and Travis Schiller at the Dogs, and Jackson and Luke Edwards for the Tigers. They've switched it to this broadcast side. Patterson gave it now to Weaver, who's marked 65-70 from defensive goal. He'll play on now. He'll kick down the line. The ball floating there for Butcher. Does he get to it in time? He does. John Butcher takes the mark, plays on. Asks for a player to come at him. He's going to kick it long over the top, looking for Dirt. And Stevenson down there flying at the back. Parks. A very good contested mark there from the youngster in Luke Parks. And he chips sideways now. Goes to Andrew Bradley. The kick, a poor one. Good pressure defensively from the Dogs forwards. Coming through there was Kelly for the Bulldogs. Hand pass over to Jared Schiller. Gives it back. Got it rather from brother Travis around the corner. Durden dropped what he should have taken. Virgin desperately fists it through for a rush behind. So a minor score for the Dogs and a chance gone begging. Central go to 1-1-7. Glenelg 3-3-21. 17 gone first term.
It was a long kick towards half-back from Allen, well marked by McBean. Left half-back for the Tigers. Long way from home for him.
Got the fluoro green wheels on today, John. Looking splendid.
Looking very nice. Goes short, and Callum Park with some run down this members wing. So he drives towards half-back, but Montgomery gets in the way for the Doggies. Takes the saving mark. Chips short and finds Menzel. We'll come back towards this members wing, looking for Butcher from the side. Gillard flies in and takes the mark. Nice effort by the former Renmark Rovers player. Goes with the handball. Sets a task for Boyd. Nicholson now as Gillard comes in to lend some support. And the umpire will come in and ball this one up on the members wing. Probably a fair result in the end, but again, Central just getting a little bit fumbly and they needed cleaner movement. Butcher double fist it down in the ruck. Quick kick there from Jared Schiller towards half forward. Bouncing football. Umpire's whistle is gone. And the Tigers have got it here through Park, the Sydney Swans academy boy. Parks comes to half-back and Nicholson takes the mark for the Tigers. Got them to a very fine footballer as Carl Nicholson. I believe his dad played some reserves. Was it for West Adelaide?
It was back in the 80s, John.
Yes. Weir, little handball off to Partington. Now getting in the way, just spoiling things O'Brien for Central. And there'll be a ball up on the edge of the centre square here, grandstand wing. Tigers by 14 points, 18 and a half gone first term.
19 minutes gone in the second term at Woodville, and it is the Eagles 4-7-31 leading the Bloods 2-1-13. And the game pretty low scoring at Prospect for the Sturt and North gamers. Back here at the Ponderosa, umpire has found a free kick going the way of the Dogs, and young Oliver Short made his debut back in round 17 last season when the Dogs had a big Friday night win over the Redlegs at the Parade. So Oliver Short kicks down the line. A lead comes from Stevenson. Just sitting underneath it there was Nicholson for the Tigers. Comes back now to Harble. Tried the underground kick and the dribble kick forward. And Stevenson just escorts it over the line. Max Proud, the captain of the Tigers, there alongside him. And what a great story Max Proud was, John. 3 or 4 years ago, was in and out of the reserve side and now the captain of the Tigers and a premiership star.
Wonderful player, Proud. A real barometer for how they go down there in defence.
The ball thrown in. A shallow throw-in allows McBean for the Tigers to win it on hands and knees. Where you find him on a lot of the time is Snook. Gets out a hand pass now to Nicholson into the middle of Ex-Convenience Oval and stretches marked. Former Demon. Glenelg Jr. as well. Played a couple of league games before being drafted back in 2014. Kick towards the outer side and Bailey does well with the body. Weaver stayed in the contest and taps it out to the advantage of a teammate, Toner. Needs to get rid of the footy quickly. He was taken high. And a halfback left on the outer side. It'll be young Jack Toner with the free kick. He comes in board and he spots up the man from Ganmain, Grong Matong in the captain, Luke Harble.
Wants to go and does. Harble drives this towards half forward. Bouncing ball. Head over it. Jared Schiller trapped it nicely in the end. He was well tackled by McCarthy. Umpire's going to ping him. You could just tell the umpire thought, I'm going to ping you. And he's right. McCarthy's got it at half back. So Glenelg looking to turn defence into attack. Not a lot of options. He'll go backwards inside defence to 50 and find Parks. We've got a Park and a Parks out there today as he's Proud. The Tigers skipper, he goes short. Jackson Edwards, from a Crow listed player, goes towards half back. Nice kick taken by Luke Reynolds. Runner up in last year's Jack Oatey. Should I say Ken Farmer. And of course his teammate Liam McBean winning that award. Big Allen went up, couldn't take it. Partington shoveled it out. Weir there, got it to Nicholson, to Snook. And now Callum Park goes short and finds the former North Adelaide player, Virgin. He chips to Parks. Parks off half back with a long raking kick. Bailey saw it spoiled by Menzel at the last second. Picked up by Patterson. Over to Menzel. Handball sort of into open space. Couldn't quite grab at the Tigers. Menzel could for the Dogs. Goes over the top to Jared Schiller. Jared Schiller's got Langy, 60 from goal, calling for it. Langy will go short. Unable to quite take it there, Durden. Under pressure now, Proud. Got to be careful not to get into his back. And there'll be a ball up, 40 out from the central goal. They need one. They trail by 14 points, 21 and a half gone first quarter.
Just the lack of polish there from the Dogs. Just giving up an opportunity for a shot on goal through Durden as from the stoppage. Spills into the hands there of McCarthy. Got it there from stretch. McCarthy's kick. Looking out here for Weir. Over the top there of Harble. Weir did well and stayed in the contest. But Harble did equally as well to apply a good tackle. And he's rewarded for holding the ball. So Weir spun in a 360. And Luke Harble, the first-year captain at the Bulldogs, originally from Griffith over in New South Wales, that Riverina area. Kicks inside 50 at the back there. Almost O'Brien. Good defensive spoil towards the line. And at the southern end, down there, the club room's end here at the Ponderosa, John, the ball will be thrown in.
He's a good story too, Harble. Played a number of seasons where he was a fringe player as a small forward.
Yep.
Played probably as much reserves as he did senior footy. Made him a small defender. He's gone from strength to strength in the last few seasons.
Only 2 years ago he was playing reserves out here at Elizabeth. As the ball's thrown back in. We'll have a stoppage from the umpire. O'Brien giving the ball back there to umpire Morgan. So Butcher and Hanneth, former teammates. Hit down came from Hanneth to Snook. Off now his teammate in Agnew. Now to the classy moving Motlop. Former Rooster and West Adelaide player was the former rookie for the Power. As a free kick definitely there for the Tigers in the back against Nick Madden, going the way of young Jack Yates. So takes advantage of no man on the mark, kicks towards half forward. It's a well-weighted kick and it spots up a player there in Kluski. Former Port Magpie listed player inside 50. Toner couldn't take it. Well done by Reynolds. The hand pass though just went astray, but Motlop with some class off the left, snaps around the body. The bouncing ball towards the goal line. Touched by Thompson. Good desperate effort from the big ruckman from Berry. At the 23.5 minute mark, the Tigers go to 3-4-22. They're 15 points in front of the Dogs, who are 1-1-7 here at Ex-Convenience Oval.
Yeah, good saving touch there on the line from Thompson. Would have been very painful, that goal for the Dogs, as Harble brings it back into play towards half-back. Getting up and knocking it down, McCarthy. Kelly couldn't pick it up for the Dogs. Shoveled out the back. Will give to Partington. Now Agnew off a step, inside 50. Knocked down by the central defence, but Glenelg have the numbers at ground level. Handball came up to McBean, and right on the line. Saving mark for the Dogs. And they're away immediately with some run through Boyd. Kicks towards Menzel, goes past him, and in the end, Parks will tackle him over the line and out of play.
Just the story of the year for the Dogs, John. I mean, James Boyd is a classy player. We know the veteran of 3 SANFL clubs is a good ball user, but just nothing going right for the Dogs this year, and that kick normally would hit the target, but just didn't quite find Menzel.
From the restart, wrestling off the ball, Menzel came diving in. Going to come back here, free kick to the player in Schiller, Jared, who was held. 55 from his defensive goal. We've gone 24 and a half in this first term. Schiller just hoofs it towards the wing. Off hands, Boyd lurking close to the line. Out of play, it will go for a throw-in. So Glenelg, 15 points in front as we approach the 25th minute mark, or 25-minute mark of this first quarter. Guy swings it back into play. Hanneth there. Menzel slapped it down. Picked up by Nicholson, handballed straight to Boyd. Boyd look away, handball, found Menzel. Agnew tackled him, but not before Menzel got a kick away to half forward. Proud, up to Bradley, a chance for Glenelg to clear, and they wills the kick towards this member's wing. No one can pick up the bouncing ball, in dispute. And the umpire says, we'll have it. Between right half forward and grandstand centre wing for the Doggies, they need one as we close in on quarter time.
So Thompson for the Dogs comes over the top there of Hanneth, who then applies a tackle on the Doggies player in O'Brien. And the umpire says, nothing doing, my ball. In fact, that player was Durden rather. As the siren sounds to end the first term, 25 minutes and 40 seconds that first quarter going. And at quarter time here at the Ponderosa ex-Convenience Oval, it is Glenelg 3-4-22 leading the Bulldogs 1-1-7. Goal kickers for the Tigers, all singles, Matthew Snook, Darcy Bailey and Luke Partington, while for the Doggies, they kicked the opening goal of the contest through Justin Hoskin. That was about the 3-minute mark and nothing since then bar the behind. So the Tigers by 15 points at the first change, John, and the Dogs no doubt their own worst on demand, and that includes the reserves, the under-18s and the league, of course. While you, if you're not a member rather, you can get a season pass for just the value of $49.99 or a weekly round pass for just $4.99. So head along to sanfldigitalpass.com.au for more information as we see the last official to exit the arena, John Paul Thomas, back out at the Doggies. He's acting as the runner today, normally a midfield coach, but yeah, good to see him back out here as we're underway in the second term. Your first caller, John Nankerville.
One of the greats here at the Ponderosa, Paul Thomas, part of that magic era in the first decade of this 21st century. As the umpire bounces the footy to get us underway in the second quarter, Hanneth won it down. Here goes Boyd for touch number 11. Puts central towards half forward. Up and taking a good mark, though, is Bradley, the ever-reliable Andrew Bradley, the southeastern product. Goes searching for Weir, who was busy in that first term at times. Played his junior footy at Robe. Now
my favourite holiday spots, John. Beautiful part of the country.
Angus Weir, yes. A wonderful part of the world. Robe as Hoskin. Kicked the first goal of the game, tackled. Coming in to lend some support, Trav Schiller. No one can really grab the footy at the moment. Lots of good, hard tackling. Example there from Nicholson on Gillard. We'll see another ball up. Members wing here at Elizabeth. As Hanneth hooked this one back only as far as Gillard. Back towards half forward. Stevenson was up. Couldn't quite trap it. Little give came out. Jackson Edwards ridden into the ground. Umpire's whistle is gone. And the free is coming here to the Tigers. And they'll take it at half back through Park.
So Park, the former Foz Camden junior, his half-brother Scotty Bricknell played some league footy for West Adelaide. Chipped short and marked there by Reynolds. Mentioned the digital pass earlier and a great avenue to watch SANFL footy. Shout out to passionate Tigers man Joel Bayliss, who's watching in. Got a nice little setup at home. Hope you're enjoying the coverage, mate. As the kick towards half forward, marked there by Hanneth. Big Jack takes a strong mark against his former club. He's too far out to score. Kicks inside 50, gets a lead from a teammate there in Yates. Tries to evade around the would-be tackler there in Madden. And the aforementioned Nick Madden won a good free kick for holding the footy.
Wonderful stuff from Madden. Just head down, bang, did what he had to do. Gets the free for the Doggies.
Watch the hips, didn't allow Yates to get past him as Madden goes back to the defensive goal square. 2018 reserves best and fairest winner Dylan Weaver runs his full measure. Handballs there to Justin Hoskin, who uses the ball nicely and finds Durden. Talented youngster. Kevin Sheehan medal, best on ground in the under-18s championships last season. Handballs over the top now to Toner. Takes a bounce. Then kicks down the line. He's got Stevenson presenting, and he takes a mark against his opposing number 4 in Edwards. And Murray Stevenson, as I said earlier, normal defender playing forward. Chip short now, and this is better build up there by the Bulldogs. It's marked on that outer side by second game at Lachlan Grubb. The boy from Tea Tree Gully, chip short, didn't go the required 15. Puts Menzel under some pressure. He turns onto his non-preferred right. In the front position there, taking a nice mark for the Bulldogs, was Nick Lange. Had to sit under the footy, not knowing what was coming from behind, and just stood his ground, John, and it showed a nice clean pair of hands.
Yeah, he's a good player, the lad from Nuriutpa, and I've been impressed. I've called the doggies the last few weeks, and him and Montgomery have really taken my eye with their footy. They try hard. They're players of the future if the doggies can hang on to them.
So Nick Lange on the Powerade Breakthrough Award in round 1, his debut against the Double Blues. He's kicked 6 goals, 6 on the season. Leans back on this one, kicks it towards goal, and has got it. First goal to Lange, the first of the second term for the Dogs. And they go to 2 goals, 1-13. Then 9 points behind the Tigers. 3.5 gone second term, and a good start for the Bulldogs, John.
It is. They got the first goal of the first quarter through Hoskin. First goal of the second quarter through Lange. Just brings them back within touch. I mean, it's only 9 points. We shouldn't be getting too excited about it, but just those leads can break away quickly from 10, 15 points. You can suddenly find yourself 5, 6 goals down. So important Central keep in touch. Important they get the first goal.
Yeah, speaking of 6 goals, I remember before coronavirus hit, the Doggies and the Double Blues played in a trial game out here at Elizabeth way back in March. And Nick Lange kicked 6 goals in that reserves trial game. So he's definitely a talent and knows where the sticks are, as he proved on that occasion, John.
So back in the middle, Big Hanneth with his hands on his hips. Thompson hands on these, flies high. He's got a great leap as Brodie Thompson. Agnew, though, to Partington. His look-away handball missed the target. Here's Lange again. Shovels it up to Trav Schiller. Chance for the Dogs. Schiller pushed as he kicked it. Bouncing football. Parks, big man, did well to get a handball out into open space. Nicholson met strongly and tackled well by Shaw. But get away there, Agnew, stripped of the footy. Still a chance for the Dogs. Boyd kicks beautifully. And it's back-to-back goals to the Dogs as Boyd gets his first. And Central bring the margin down to just 3 points at the 5-minute mark of the second term.
Yeah, great finish, a classy finish from James Boyd. We don't see him all that often, John, go on the left boot, but distance wasn't an issue, accuracy wasn't either, and from 35, 40 metres out, James Boyd kicks his first. He's only his second goal of the season, and it gets the Dogs right back in the contest.
He's racked up close to 15 possessions early in this second term, and worrying signs for the Tigers too. Partington has just limped from the field. It looks like a right leg, perhaps, knee or lower leg. We'll keep an eye on that.
Well spotted by Dr. John Nankiville.
Yeah, I spotted it. I'm not here to diagnose.
We're back in the middle, and Hanneth will resume hostilities against Thompson, who's got that nice athletic leap, as John mentioned. Schiller, Jared Variety on his back, trying to get a hand pass out. Scramble for the footy. Coming in over the top there is Jack Hanneth applying a tackle on his opponent in Thompson, and the umpire says, my ball. Just outside the centre circle, we'll go again. Hanneth just protected the jump zone there of Thompson. I reckon that'll be a free kick to the former Crows-aligned player, Brodie Thompson. Kick goes inside 50, coming back there, McCarthy. Great courage. Took the mark, or got the free kick in the end. Courageous, tough as old boots, as they say, John, is McCarthy. Amazingly, he was only born with 4 fingers on the left hand, so manages to get by playing Aussie rules. Another former Tiger player with 4 fingers, Brett Backwell, of course.
Yes.
As Parks now for the Tigers. Kicks to the leading player there in Nicholson. Good pressure by Olsen. Park in there as well for the Tigers. Durden comes in to lend support, gives it back now to his teammate there in Madden. Just threads his way through some traffic. Clever from Toner just to follow up and get boot to ball. Then a hand pass to Jared Schiller. Now to Durden. Can the Dogs get 3 in a row? Corey Durden's kick is across the face. So a chance gone begging there for the youngster. 3-2-20 the Doggies. They're back to within 2 points. Glenelg 3-4-22. 6.5 gone second term, and this is better from the Dogs, John.
It is indeed, as Jackson Edwards launches a kick towards defence of 50. Good mark taken by Reynolds. Reynolds just happy to settle things down. They've been hit by a bit of a Doggies avalanche in the first few minutes of this quarter. He goes short and finds Snook. Snook wasting no time, drives to half back, where Luke Edwards has got the footy. And we'll look down this members wing to where the pack has formed. Oh, Menzel, very nice mark. Getting up there, taking a very nice grab, Troy Menzel, as he goes back towards half forward. Flying high, Stevenson. Couldn't take it. Snook was good. Got it up to Jackson Edwards. Went short. And now the Tigers through Klusky, a former Sturt junior and Port Adelaide player as well. A little unsure where to go, and, well, you deserve that, Mr. Klusky, because that was pretty embarrassing. And Hoskins away and running. He'll launch long and strong to the top of the goal square. Unable to take it, Butcher. Langy lends support. Good pressure, though, from McCarthy. Ball spills out. O'Brien was there. Little give came out. I don't think that was touched as it went over. Central appealing for the free. They won't get it. Boundary throw in deep in Central's 50.
Dogs are definitely pressing. Well done by Max Proud, though. Just showed some composure on the last line of defence.
He did indeed. There's one down by Hanath. O'Brien working hard. Again, the stalemate, though. Top of the goal square. Ball flicked out at the last minute. Langy grabbed it, tackled. Ball up will result. So about 15 out from Central's goal. They trail by 2 points, 8.5 gone in this second quarter. Stevenson won it down. So all the Tigers. Proud's kick was smothered, though. They kept it in there, did the Dogs momentarily, though, as Hoskin tackled over the line, and we'll see a boundary throw in. Tigers by 2 points, desperately defending early stages second term.
9 minutes gone. Ball thrown back into play down at the northern end, left forward pocket. As Hanath wins the hit out against Stevenson, but Stevenson's follow-up work was good. Gets taken to ground in a tackle, spills out in the direction there of the Dogs player, and O'Brien can't quite get a clean kick away. A lot of numbers around the ball. It's just ping-ponging around. Umpire Crosby at the back of the pack hovering. Decides to try and separate things a little and says, my ball, thank you, gentlemen. So left forward pocket. The Dogs 2 points down. A trail by 15 at the first change. Round 7 statewide Super League action here at Ex-Convenience Oval. Hanath won the hit out. Scrambling at ground level. Trying to get the footy out there was Durden, but it spills back in the direction there of Andrew Bradley. Former captain. Thompson flew for the Dogs. Couldn't quite take it. Jared Schiller just gets a hand pass out. Looking there for Shaw. Comes back to his fellow defender in Patterson, who plies a good tackle on the Glenelg player in Weir. And the young umpire Sam Morgan says, my ball, thank you, gentlemen. So just forward of centre wing, broadcast side. Thompson up against Hanath. Thompson jumps. He's got a wonderful natural leap, unopposed in the throw up. And the ball has trickled over the boundary line. So we'll have a throw in. It'll be Thompson and Hanath to resume again at the resumption of play. 10 minutes gone. It is the Tigers by 2 points.
Ball at half forward for Central. They're doing their best, just work it out. Thompson almost looked like he might have copped a push. Nothing doing. Ball in dispute. 55 from Central's goal. Last up, Jackson Edwards flicks it back to the umpire. Hanath whacks it down. Where are the Glenelg runners? Close to the line. It's knocked out of play.
Hanath using his experience there. Sorry there, John. Just using his experience, knowing that he's not going to outleap Thompson, and he's just trying to use his bigger frame and his AFL experience, obviously playing with Fremantle. And I reckon about 40-odd games for the Doggies as well.
Yeah, he's at his former stamping ground here in the SANFL, Hanath. That one fell short. Trav Schiller took it. Handball under pressure, didn't find a target. Trying to bust his way through there was Durden.
62 games for the Bulldogs, actually. John, I forgot he played some footy at league level before being drafted to the Dockers.
Now here's again Hanath, won it down. Jackson Edwards, Langy tackled him. Edwards got the handball out to brother Luke. He was dispossessed. Doggies now work it round as Trav Schiller hooks back to the top of the goals. Stevenson tried to knock it down. In the end, rushed through for a point. So it's a 1 point ball game. 11.5 gone second term. 3-3 plays 3-4.
So Jackson Edwards takes the kick out immediately for the Tigers. Chips short and about 40 from goal. Young Matt Allen has the ball. Spent 4 years on the West Coast Eagles list as Park now for the Tigers. Nice looking player. Kicks short and he finds Billy Stretch. Stretch back at SANFL after a couple of years or 4 or 5 years in the AFL system with Melbourne. Kicks down the line. A contest out there was good from Weir. Coming through Yates. Getting boot to ball there was O'Brien for the Bulldogs. His kick towards a teammate in Jared Schiller. Threads through the traffic and gives it now to Toner. Kick around the corner. Looking there for a teammate out there in the avenue of Langy, but the Dogs have it again now. Some speed comes through from Olsen. The former Redleg runs to 40, kicks towards goal, and the Dogs are in front. Olsen with his first. Centrals get their fourth, and Central go to 4-3-27. Glenelg 3-4-22. 12 and a half gone second term. And this is clean football from the Dogs, John. The fans will be saying, where's this been all year?
Exactly right. He's a dangerous little player, Olsen, a real goal sneak, and played in the premiership with Norwood's reserves last year. And, well, playing very nicely today with that goal for the Doggies. Glenelg, they've been jumped early stages or first half of the second quarter. The Doggies doing what they needed to do, have taken the lead by 5 points.
Yeah, 18 games at league level for Chris Olsen, and as you said, played in that reserves flag last year. And we're just going to have a blood rule at the moment, John. I was going to mention it in the call, but I think Park is coming off the ground for the Tigers. Callum Park showed some courage to try and get to the contest, and thought he was unlucky not to get a free kick. He copped a bit of an errant fist to the mush, and he's coming off with some blood flowing from the nose.
Unfortunate, good young player, talented baseballer too, yeah. Callum Park. He's real all-rounder.
Represented Australia at junior level.
We'll see him again, I'm sure, but he'll get that blood seen to. The Doggies, well, Tigers a bit shell-shocked. They trail by 5 points. Umpire ready to restart things in this second term. Back in the middle. Butcher into the ruck for Central. As the umpire will twirl this one skyward. Hannah sort of got a flick on it. Menzel tackling hard at ground level. Refusing to let his Glenelg opponent get anywhere near it. That was Agnew. Take two. One down by Hanneth. Agnew came through, got it to Allen. Quick kick. Now Agnew off the ground. What can Glenelg muster? Pressure on at 50. Dogs through Patterson. Ball came out. McBean had it. Got it inside 50. Partington back on the ground. Pushed. And free kick to Partington every day of the week. Or is it advantage paid? And they take the advantage. They did, the Tigers, and that'll cost them because the kick missing. Going through for a point. And we are now a 4-point ball game.
Yeah, Liam McBean took advantage of the situation and just off of a step, a bit casually kicked it through for a behind and didn't impress Coach Mark Stone up in the coach's box, threw the headset off, John, and has ran down the race and is now down at ground level pretty quickly. As
there he is.
Yeah, the Dogs almost muff it from the kick out. The hand pass there from Menzel left a bit to be desired for a teammate in Gillard, who just fisted towards the boundary and deliberate out of bounds. So probably the right call there from umpire Morgan. Mark Stone, the Tigers coach, just sprinting down the steps of the grandstand as Partington will pop it to the teeth of goal at the back there. Uncontested mark by Darcy Bailey.
I can't get over how quickly Mark Stone moved. I was in a similar position. I was still be getting out of my chair, and he's walking around on the boundary.
I pointed at one stage, and I know you were trying to keep up with the play, but I pointed down, and before you know it, Mark was down there at boundary level, and his team will make amends for that wasted opportunity because you would think from 10, 15 metres out directly in front, Bailey should go back and become the game's first multiple goal kicker. So Bailey kicks truly for the Tigers. They're back in front. 4 goals, 5-29 are Glenelg. Central 4-3-27. So a free kick there against Luke Harble for a push in the back to Partington. It was going to come back for a shot on goal, John. Liam McBean decided to have the play on advantage, missed for a behind, and then the Dogs turned it over again, and the Tigers back in front.
Yeah, comedy of errors, really. Partington's McBean's missed shot, then the Dogs twice fluffing it, bringing it back into play with the kick in and then the deliberate out of bounds. But in the end, Glenelg get the goal through Bailey against the run of play. That's going to hurt. Didn't look pretty. Didn't please Mark Stone to start with, but the Tigers take the lead.
And Darcy Bailey's 7th goal on the year, becoming a real consistent small crumbing forward.
So Hanneth crashes into Thompson on that occasion. Menzel had it, tackled well by Snook. The umpire will come in and ball it up. Menzel comes up with the footy.
Liam McBean disgusted with himself missing, John. He brought himself off because he took the long sleeve jumper off and he's got the short sleeves on, about to come back on.
Snook, little give out towards Allen. He was dispossessed in the tackle. Menzel again at ground level. And again, we'll see the ball up. So we've gone almost 17 in the second term. Glenelg by 2 points after led by 15 at quarter time. Toner, quick kick to 50 to half forward, might come off here through Trav Schiller. Trav Schiller's little kick inside 50, searching for Stevenson. Knocked away from him. The big man did well, banging and crashing. Now a chance here off a step from Kelly. Got it from Jared Schiller. But Kelly's kick is high, wide and handsome. Out of bounds on the full. 17 gone second term. Tigers by 2 points. Jackson Edwards to take the free in the left back pocket.
So with the fluoro orange boots, the former Crow rookie kicks to that outer side. A nice contested mark out there for the Tigers. The very impressive Luke Parks. Former Swans Academy player, as John said, coached by Jared Crouch, former Redleg.
Yes, good player, very good player.
As Parks comes back in board now, defensive 50 to Edwards. Jackson variety. He chips short and finds Andrew Bradley, who then goes short and finds the former Roosters Reserves Premiership player Michael Virgin. 32 games at league level for North Adelaide as he goes short and finds Nicholson. But Nicholson, his kick has been turned over. Well done by Gillard, but great tackle in there by Partington. Gillard spun in the 360 and Partington, John, never gave up on the contest and got himself the free.
Good to see Partington back out there. Hurt the knee earlier on in the first quarter, but back out there playing well.
Well, the sore knee might have impacted that kick because he's turned it over and down the throat of James Boyd now in the hands there of his teammate in Stevenson. Comedy Rivera's again from the Dogs. The short pass looking for O'Brien couldn't be found. Now it's with Andrew Bradley, who cuts through the centre of Ex-Convenience Oval. And Bailey, the last goal kicker, he's got a teammate flanking him on that outer side. And the big lumbering Jack Hanneth has marked 85 from goal. He's a big kick, but still too far out by Jack's standards. Is on the lead now, marking it full-chested Luke Reynolds. Former Carlton rookie. He'll go inside 50, looking for a teammate there in Yates. Trapped it nicely, gives it back there to Matt Allen, who tries to get around his opponent there in Toner. Allen's kick, centre's looking for McBean.
Too tall.
Too tall, too strong, and just used his nous to nudge his opponent under the footy. Wyatt Patterson, the former Roosters defender, couldn't do anything about that. And last year's Ken Farmer medalist, John, lining up for goal number 1.
Yeah, the big ex-Richmond Tiger finding a home here at the Glenelg Tigers. Last year's Ken Farmer medalist, premiership player, and now can line up to just settle things for Glenelg here at the Ponderosa. They've a bit stunned how well Central have come at them and played them in this second quarter. This is just to put them back out to a couple of goals.
21 goals, 8 on the year for McBean. From 35 out, kicks it laconically for the second time today, and he's skimmed at the post. So a wasted opportunity there again for the Tigers. 4 goals, 6:30 Glenelg. Central 4-3-27, 19 and 3/4 gone in the second term, and McBean should have done better, John.
He should have. As Toner to bring it back into play for the Dogs goes out towards half back. Yates sort of knocked it down in the end. Menzel there too, saw it out for a throw-in. 55 round from the Glenelg goal. Opportunity going begging there. And they now leading by just the 3 points. As McBean in the ruck, won it down. Hoskin got it to Trav Schiller. His handball grabbed by Weir for the Tigers. Umpires found a free kick. That's
holding
going
the ball.
Back against Weir, holding the ball, going the way of Grubb. No, pardon me, that's Kelly out there at defensive 50. So Jackson Kelly off defensive 50 goes with the kick down the outer wing. Oh, fantastic grab there for the Tigers by Parks. Got up high, dragged it down the big man, and can settle things on that outer wing. Ponytail there that's verging on a man bun as he kicks towards 50, streaming through Klusky. But waiting down, taking a good mark in the end there was Yates as he goes inside 50. Oh, Allen just got the little body work very nicely on Gillard. Just got rid of his opponent, and Matt Allen, who spent time with the West Coast Eagles, can go back and line up for his first at 25 metres out straight in front at the 21-minute mark of this second term.
Yeah, he's a nice size, Matt Allen. As you said, spent some time at West Coast. Couldn't crack an AFL game, but a quality player.
So this to put the Tigers out to a 9-point lead. He's successful. Allen gets his first, and the Tigers do indeed go out to a 9-point lead. 21 and a half gone in this second term, as Agnew about to come back on for the Tigers.
Yeah, good finish there from Allen. It wasn't the greatest of looking kicks off the boot. It floated through, John, and nonetheless effective there for the former West Coast Eagles listed player, and won a best and fairest at East Perth when he was a line there in the waffle back in 2018, and he actually shared that best and fairest award with a teammate out here, Luke Partington.
Well, there you go.
And they're both listed as AFL players at West Coast.
They would have been too. That was in the days when East Perth were, of course, West Coast's
reserves
feeder team.
Yeah, a line feeder team, as you said. So back in the middle. Tigers back out to 9 points. It's been a bit of a seesaw battle, this contest. The Dogs have been very good after quarter time, as now they'll go through the avenue of Travis Schiller. Couldn't quite take it, Virgin. Well done by Grubb. Gives it off there to a teammate in Hoskin. He knows where the goals are from outside 50. His kick very errant. And sitting under it nicely there, Max Proud. Hoskin probably should have done better himself. On the last line of defence, Max Proud, third generation SANFL League footballer. His dad played at West, and I think his grandfather played at North Adelaide. So the kick is a good one, and it's marked there by McBean, who then goes short and finds Agnew. I've loved Brad Agnew being moved into the midfield, Johnny. He was a resolute defender, but he's just a bang-crash midfielder and wins plenty of footy and clearances these days. He's find a teammate there in Park. Good to see him back out there after getting a clip around the nose. Play on now, the call from the umpire. He played a mark, but then it was smothered there by Gillard, so the players momentarily stopped. Off now to Hoskin. The non-preferred lefty chips short and finds Toner. He's chased down from behind by Proud. So Toner didn't have any awareness there of Proud coming in from the back of the contest. And Toner did step off his line, so the right decision for mine paid by the umpire. And Max Proud, premiership defender for the Bays, has the free kick. 65 from defensive goal. Kick down the line. Flying at the back, Kluski couldn't quite take it. Ground level ball. Sees Yates coming over the top there of Travis Schiller. Nothing doing, says the umpire, and it will be a ball up. So 23 and a half gone here at Ex-Convenience Oval. SANFL digital pass, Phil Aspinall, John Nankerville. Ball thrown up. McBean won the hit out unopposed. Clearance comes the way there of Weir. Gets a hand pass of sorts out. The Dogs fans want ball. Coming through there was the barging machine in Agnew. He'll go forward now to Snook. He'll kick now to half forward. Ball spills through the back there of Partington. He runs inside an open 50. Keeps it low. Dribbles it towards goal. It's bouncing across the face. And it should dribble out of bounds for a last possession free kick. So no score there. 24 gone in the second term. It is the Bays by 9 points, and the Dogs have it with Oliver Shaw.
Shaw goes short and finds Weaver. He just chips it towards the run of Boyd, who takes it sliding in on his knees. Boyd now chips further afield and finds Grubb from a Tea Tree Gully. Yeah, the Bloodhounds. Oh, they're the Wolves, aren't they? The Tea Tree Gully Wolves. As the ball off hands there from Snook. Stevenson had it, lost it. Gets some support from Schiller. Now Grubb, a high kick back towards half forward. Durden was up high. Stevenson at ground level looking to dish the handball out. No one was there. Weaver went off the ground, only as far as Hanneth. Would kick over the head there of the intended tackle, but in the end, Edwards was up to the task. Kicks towards half forward, but Central come away with the football, but a great tackle at the last second, sliding in McBean there on Thompson. And good footy all round from both sides. And Glenelg end up with it at half back through Agnew. So Agnew goes short to Motlop. And Motlop's got it on the members' wing. And it'll be a 25 here as Toner. Just getting in there a little bit late.
Overzealous with the shove, John. But great athleticism earlier from the big man in Thompson for the Dogs. Just the bounce didn't quite sit for him. Well done by McBean.
So Motlop off half forward. Kicks long inside 50. Allen came from the side. Reynolds there as well. Boyd, can he pick it up? Tackled into the ground there by Kluski. And tackled illegally, says the umpire. And Boyd will get the free kick at defensive 50. 25 and a half gone second term. Tigers clinging to that 9-point lead.
Wyatt Patterson down behind play, John, in a world of pain. Still on his haunches. Get you to keep an eye on that. Looks like an ankle injury by the looks of it, as the free kick comes towards half forward for the Dogs. It stays in play momentarily. Well done, though, by Olsen. Sockers it towards his attacking 50, but mopping up nicely there was Proud. So the boy from Plimpton kicks towards Kluski, who a little bit unsure as to whether to go for it or not, and accidentally then socked it over the boundary line, out on the full. So Luke Harble, the Bulldogs captain, was going to bring it back in board, but the umpire requires him, as is the rule, to go back over the line and step actually out of play. Once he goes back into the field of play, it'll be play on. So Harble, the kick down the line, looking there for a good mate in Stevenson. Can't quite take it. Good at second attempt there, McCarthy. And I thought he might have paid it in the end. The umpire judging that McCarthy got a fist on it and then took the claim of the mark by Brad McCarthy. So the left footer plays on now from half back. Broadcast side, he's kicking down the line, coming through athletically there. Montgomery's taking the long sleeves off as well. just spills into the hands there of Jared Schiller as the siren sounds. Then's the first half here at Ex-Convenience Oval. The second term going 26 minutes and 58 seconds. And it is a 9-point advantage there to the Tigers. They're 5-6-36, Central 4-3-27. Goal kickers for the contest. We have 2 to Darcy Bailey, Matthew Snook, Luke Partington and Matt Allen with singles apiece. While all singles for the Doggies, 1 to James Boyd, Chris Olsen, Justin Hoskin with the opening goal of the game, and also Nick Lange. So those scores again, it is Glenelg 5-6-36.
32. Contested marks, Tigers 9-4. Tackles 43-26 in favour of the Bays. Scoring accuracy, the Doggies 57%, Tigers 45. Hit-outs, Big Hanath getting up there with 24-15, leading the way for the Tigers. Clearances 17-16 in favour of the Dogs, 19-16 in favour of the Dogs for inside 50s, and rebound 50s 15-12.
Just quickly, we'll mention some Doggies sponsors while we have a moment. In fact, we'll get to the sponsors as we get breaks throughout the quarter. Your opening third term quarter caller is John Nankerville.
Underway in the second half here. Slap down for the Dogs there by Thompson. It's going to be the Tigers to clear. Partington to Hanath, and now Partington in the 1-2 with some run off that outer wing. Gets it inside 50. Bouncing football. Kicked 2 goals already. Bailey, can he control it? Sort of shoveled it out. Good pressure from the Tigers. Tackling hard. And there'll be a ball up.
Another injury concern for the Dogs. We saw Wyatt Patterson go down with a lower leg injury. Also now for the Doggies, Nick Lange down inside the centre square.
Patterson appears to be back out there, which is good for Central, but we'll keep an eye on Lange as an early free here, going the way of the Tigers, going the way of the aforementioned Bailey. So he can line up for the first goal of the second half. He's kicked 2 today already. And big moment for Glenelg. And it would just steady things at the start of this second half if Bailey can score this.
Yeah, an update on Nick Lange, John. Not good for the youngster, being carried off by the trainer and physio, and looks in a world of pain, some form of ankle injury by the looks of it.
So Bailey to put the Tigers out by 15 points, their quarter-time lead. He has done it. He gets goal number 3, Darcy Bailey, and 90 seconds into this third quarter. Tigers 6-6-42, Central 4-3-27, 15 points now the lead.
Yeah, perfect start for the Tigers, and well done to Darcy Bailey, his 8th goal on the year, and a good finish there from a player who's just got better as he has played more league football, thinking about his 4th or 5th year of SANFL League footy, and a good finish there from Bailey, John.
It was very nice from Bailey. He is a fine footballer, as we've said. A goal in each quarter now, and as always, contributing strongly to the Tigers.
Quick shout out as well. I mentioned passionate Bay supporter Joel Bayliss listening in as well, but equal as passionate Glenelg supporters Gordon Anderson and Bernie McNamara, who's tuning in from his shack up at Nildotty, enjoying the coverage. So hope you're enjoying the call, boys. Thanks for the tweet as we come back into the middle of the Ponderosa, and Snook with a clearance there for the Tigers. Weir should have won a free for hanging on. Luke Edwards, the debutant, overran it. Weir was hard at the contest again, then slung to ground by Hoskin. Ball spills out in the Harble direction. Tries to tap it to the advantage of a teammate, but Snook intercept. Then Jackson Kelly for the Dogs had it bounce off his knee. Spills back out now in the direction of the Bulldogs player, Nick Madden, and he's going to be pinged for holding the ball. Free kick was definitely there. Dove over the top of it and chose not to get it out rather. And the recipient of the free kick is the debutant Luke Edwards. Chips in short, looking for McBean. Could have got a free kick for over the shoulder or in the back. Montgomery with a task to go to him now. Down to the first gamer, Edwards, who throws it towards goal. Not throwing it literally, but throws it on the boot, and it ricochets to the right. A minor score for Edwards. 3 minutes gone in the third term. 6-7-43 the Tigers. Central 4-3-27.
So Glenelg doing the scoring early in this second half. Now it's going to be Toner to bring the footy back into play. It's a bit unsure where to go, Chris Toner. We'll just run into this right back pocket. Points further down the field and hoofs it out towards half-back right. Montgomery flew, so did Butcher. Front and centre, Hanath to Partington. Over the head with the handball went Partington to Bradley, who can now put the Bays up towards McBean. And McBean, too strong, marks it 40 out straight in front over Patterson. And McBean can go back and line up for his second, and to push that out to a game-high lead of 21 points for the Tigers.
You mentioned at the start of the call, John, wearing the fluoro green boots this afternoon. Liam McBean hasn't had the kicking boots on Started the game with a long sleeve Guernsey. He's taken that off and 2 behinds on the day and lining up for his first, the reigning Ken Farmer medalist.
Beg your pardon, his first. I forget that's right. He hit the post in that second quarter, didn't he?
Yep.
After missing from taking advantage from the Partington free. It wasn't the great second term for him. He can make up for that if he can nail this one, McBean. He's done it. He does get his first. And the Tigers away. A strong start. They've kicked the first 2 goals of the second half. We've gone 4.5 minutes in this third term. And the Tigers skip out now to 7-7-49 to Central's 4-3-27. 22 points, a game-high lead for Glenelg.
22 points for the Tigers and 22 the number of goals on season 2020 for Liam McBean, who, John, has won a leading goal-kicking award in 2 state league competitions. The Frosty Miller Medal in the VFL is anointed to the VFL leading goal kicker, and Liam McBean won one of those back in 2015. And as you touched on at the start of the call, 5 AFL games with the Richmond Tigers. The boy from St Bernard's.
A real talent.
Very talented indeed. Had a year off, 2018, travelled overseas and just refreshed the mind and the body. He's back playing some good SANFL footy as we're back underway. Boyd will win a free kick for the Dogs. Plant advantage by Troy Menzel. Goes inside 50. Good kick looking for Stevenson. Spilled through his fingers. Well done, Hoskin. Releases the handball. Durden from 45 runs towards goal and kicks it. Answering goal for the Dogs. Corey Durden gets his first. That's Central's 5th. They're 5-3-33. They trail the Tigers, who are 7-7-49. A good finish there from Durden, John, and just keep Central in check.
Great stuff for the lad from Golden Grove. Just doing what they needed to do, Central, keeping them in check, as you said, Phil. Didn't want to see the Glenelg Tigers run away with this game early in the second half, and Central staying close. They need to get a little bit closer, though, but well done, Durden. He's turning into a first-rate goal sneak.
He is indeed. Kicked 3 goals on debut back in 2019, last year, in that win against the Redlegs at the Parade. It was very impressive and certainly knows where the goals are. Has a big future at AFL level for mine.
As back in the middle, Thompson versus Hannah. It's been an interesting duel in the ruck between these two. Coming through there, Agnew. A bust through. In the end, the footy does come out for the Tigers. It's taken there almost. In the end, Motlop getting the handball out towards Allen. And Glenelg can clear towards this members' wing, where they have it through Bradley. He goes back towards teammate there for the Tigers in stretch from a Melbourne boy. Over the top to Park. And now it's a run down the outer wing there from Virgin. They find a player in Edwards, who chips back towards Agnew through his fingers. Tapped on by O'Brien to Menzel. Menzel swings around, got Grubb on the outer wing there for Central. And Grubb's a little unsure where to go. Now just chips short back to Menzel. Handball's over the top to the goal scorer, Durden. Durden's kick inside 50. Bradley tracking back, trapped it nicely. Little handball over the top. Get it back in the 1-2 from Virgin, but in the end, he's hustled over the line by Stevenson for a throw-in in that left forward pocket for the Doggies, as Central trailing Glenelg by 16 points.
You mentioned Brad Agnew in the call earlier, John. Just moments before he attempted that mark, actually accidentally collided with umpire David Soberage, who put him to ground. So in the AFL, that's probably a $20,000 fine, but full credit to David Soberage, who got back up to his feet very quickly to adjudicate the next decision as the ball's thrown back into play. We'll have a stalemate again inside attacking 50 for the Dogs. They trail by 16 points. 8 minutes gone, third term. SANFL digital pass coverage for Laspinall John Nankiville. As the hand pass comes back out to Boyd, he just shrugs the hips and gets it back to Gillard. He'll steady himself and look for that left boot. The boy from Renmark kicks towards the teeth of goal. Just drifts across the face, sits on its end, favours the Tigers' defence there through Proud. Handball back inboard to Edwards. Jackson Variety off to Nicholson on the non-preferred left, looking for his teammate there in Motlop. Up against Harbour, who did really well. Created a shepherd there for O'Brien. Gives it back to Olsen. Jams it on the boot. The kick, a poor one. Spills down the throat there of Max Proud. The Doggies in a war of trouble at the moment with ankle injuries. We saw Wyatt Patterson come off before half-time. Nick Lange, who hasn't come back on. And now Murray Stevenson hobbling down in the goal square for the Dogs with what looks to be an ankle injury, as the kick towards broadcast side centre wing spoiled by Montgomery over the line. Questioning whether those Doggies players had their ankles taped pre-game, John, but these days I think most players do.
think they do. It's something they like to do, but certainly hit with 3 ankle injuries in the one game. Unfortunate for Central as Hanneth sees Thompson sprint past him, but then Hanneth waits down, bangs it on the boot towards half forward. Reynolds, can he trap it? He can't. Get some support in there. Desperate sort of work there from Yates. Got a handball of sort-outs. Jared Schiller tackling strongly, and he'll be rewarded with the free.
Stevenson off for the Dogs, John. Very noticeable hobble, getting that ankle restrap.
Allen's not happy, and now he's giving away the 25. So Jared Schiller, one of the Doggies' best today, charging towards half forward, ball tucked under his arm. Kicks now towards 50. Looking for the one-on-one contest. Butcher goes to ground. Took advantage, did he? He did. Over to O'Brien. O'Brien's kick lands in the arms there of Bradley. And Glenelg a chance to clear as Bradley out wide. Hanneth was good. He's got it defensive 50. Chance going begging there for the Dogs as Hanneth brings it out towards the outer wing. And it's with Yates. Bit proppy. Yates goes down the wing with the kick. McBean got rid of his opponent. Little chip kick from McBean over the top to Kluski. Kluski at 50. Drops it on the boot. And a good mark, Partington. So Partington kicked one today, already did this end for the Tigers of a couple of steps. And now he can line up 35 out, 45 degree angle for the Tigers.
Yeah, just judged the flight of the ball coming in a lot better, John. Just used his forearm to nudge his opponent under it legally, and must be a day for ankle injuries, because you mentioned Yates on that outer side. Just shrugged the trainer off a moment ago, but looked like he hurt his ankle as well.
So Partington for his second, the Tigers' 8th. Should nail it, a player of his calibre, and he has. The Tigers get their 8th, 8-8-55, or 8-7-55, Central 5-3, 33, 10.5 gone, third quarter, and the Doggies just starting to lag a little bit behind the Tigers.
Yeah, staying in touch are Central, but just opportunities gone begging, like you mentioned, John. The chance there earlier in the play for Jordan O'Brien to perhaps either centre it or have a shot on goal, turn over the footy, and the Tigers capitalise down the other end. So playing the better footy are the reigning premiers.
That's a dangerous moment, sorry for that. Just that dangerous moment in terms of a lead on the scoreboard, time of the game that we're in, out to a 22-point lead. It's not insurmountable from here, obviously, but Tigers just staying ahead, forcing the Dogs to play catch-up.
A little anonymous for the Bulldogs, as at Woodville, 9-12-66 the Eagles. The Bloods 4-6-30, nearing full time there as we're back in the middle here at Ex-Convenience Oval. Well done, Jackson Kelly just breaks through the would-be tackler. The hand pass to Thompson, the kick to half forward for Grubb. Spoilt nicely there by McCarthy. Back to Grubb from Boyd. Now to Travis Schiller inside 50. Better movement from the Dogs. And marking on the chest there, Chris Olsen. He's marked about 40 metres out, 30 metres out on a slight angle. Nothing his opponent there could do, and John, that is clean ball movement from Central.
That's wonderful from the Doggies. You know, their fans would be saying, why can't we do that all the time? And they set up Olsen, who is a goal scorer, for a shot. So impressive stuff. They needed to bounce back, get the next goal. They may do it here through Olsen.
Lining up for his second, 21-year-old from Tea Tree Gully, former Red Leg, as we've said. A kick from about 38 metres out, comes in now. Kick isn't good off the boot, a forward tumbling punt. Misses to the left, again a chance gone begging for the Dogs, so 12.5 gone. Behind to Olsen is Central's 4th, 5-4-34. 21 points adrift of the Tigers, who are 8-7-55.
Jackson Edwards, long, strong kick in from defence. The Tigers come up with it through Nicholson to Snook. And you chip it out wide is Snook. Try and get some run for Glenelg as popping in Motlop, getting involved. Chips it back. Taking it nicely. Edwards on the outer side. His kick coughed up though. Jared Schiller to Gillard. Good tackle from Luke Edwards on Gillard and earns the free. His kick coughed up originally, Luke Edwards, but good attack on the man there. Earns the free. Goes backwards to Virgin. Who chips short and's got Parks. Now Proud. Dropped what he should have taken. Has time to recover, get round Durden and drive it towards the one-on-one on this member's wing, where Nicholson takes a good grab for the Tigers. So Carl Nicholson will just steady things down. Now kicks long towards 50. Waiting at the back. Hanneth got the handball off. Chance for
Beautiful.
Yates. Nice goal there to Yates. Very good reply for the Tigers. Good mark from Hanneth. Great run there from the youngster for his first in Jack Yates. And Glenelg go back out to that 22-point lead.
Yeah, classy finish there from Yates. And, you know, John, players always lift when they're up against their former club, and Jack Hanneth has certainly been the best ruckman on the ground for mine and involved in that passage of play. Would have been well within his rights to, from 55 out, go back and have a shot. Nickname Mammoth Hanneth is Jack with the big long kick that he's got, but unselfishly given it off to Yates, who finished off truly.
14 gone, third term. Important time for the Doggies. They have to keep it as they have to keep fighting. 20. The margin now out to 27 points, and the Dogs just cannot be edged out by Glenelg.
So we're back underway in the middle. Well done by Butcher. Competed in the middle, but the clearance will go the way of the Tigers through Partington. Kicked a couple of goals today. It spills in the hands of Klusky, the former double blue and Magpie. From 45 off of a step, kicks towards goal. Blazers to the left, so 15 gone in the second term. Third term rather, Glenelg 9-8-62. Central 5-4-34, and should have probably done better there, John.
In the end, yes, but they'll take every score at the moment. The Tigers, 28 points, they lead the contest by.
Game high, is it?
That would be a game high, but another chance, another 10 over here with the handball. Oh no, the cry from the Dogs as Snook puts the Tigers inside 50. Harble did well, mopping up for Central. And Shaw's got it, still inside defensive 50. It's the one Glenelg fan out there, curious looking fellow, enjoying the action. As Shaw drives towards half back. Oh, good mark, Hoskin. Caught behind, but took a very nice grab in the end. Goes short towards Grubb. And Grubb's got it at half back, former Tea Tree Gully play. Decides to go short down the wing to Boyd. One of the leading possession winners on the ground, Boyd. Just chipping it around. Gets it back in the 1-2 from Trav Schiller, and now goes long. Boyd towards 50 with a good defensive mark. Taken by Proud for the Tigers. Brings it around here. And Edwards has taken it. Luke Edwards at defensive 50.
Hasn't looked out of depth on debut, John.
He's been good as he goes short back to Proud. He chips it up. McCarthy's got it. Still at defensive 50 for the Tigers. Glenelg happy just to chip around at the moment as McCarthy goes towards the wing, searching for Motlop. Pinched from him though by Weaver. Over the top to Trav Schiller. Trav Schiller wants to go back with a handball to Hoskin at half forward. Hoskin now one way, then the other goes short. Montgomery's got it. Montgomery can drive the Dogs long inside 50. Oh, good defensive grab. Again, the Tiger players working well in defence as Virgin pulls down the mark.
So the former Rooster goes laterally and finds Partington, a reigning McGarry medalist. Many think should probably be on an AFL list still. Unlucky to be delisted by West Coast for Miners. Yates kicks now to the running McBean. Just separation on his opponent there in Patterson. Former Rooster himself as McBean kicks down the line. He's got a teammate in some space inside attacking 50. The kick looking for Weir. Marks it up against the point post and bounces into the right-hand point post. Springs straight back up to his feet. So courageous there from young Angus Weir. He's tucked in the right forward pocket down at there at the northern end. He's going to be hard up against the boundary line. Sacred Heart boy debuted back in round 5 against the Eagles. Squares it up, does he? He's found a teammate, has he? He's just great courage, as I said, by Weir, and he's found Nicholson, John, and not knowing what was coming, that was amazingly courageous by the young fella.
We're just getting the pats on the back too from the teammates coming down to say well done as Nicholson lines up for goal.
27-year-old from Sacred Heart. 35 out directly in front. It's a good-looking kick. The umpire drifts to his right and it bounces into the post, much like Angus Weir did. And 18 minutes gone, we see Glenelg 9-9-63, Central 5-4-34. Behind to Nicholson, but the Tigers flexing their muscle.
The Tigers just starting to get away with it a little bit now. Out to a 29-point lead. As the ball back into play towards halfback. Thompson jumping from behind Menzel. Tight on the boundary, got a handball out. Here's a chance though for Nicholson again. What can he do on the run? Towards the top of the goals. Oh, big fly. Nearly bringing it down there was Klusky. Unsuccessful though. Ball close to the line. and Yates bundled over for the rush behind. 18.5 gone third quarter. Glenelg 9-10-64, Central's 5-4-34.
Big attempted mark there from Jack Kluski. Had some under-18s footy at the Double Blues and was a top-up player for the Port Magpies. So 63 plays 34 here at the Ponderosa. SANFL digital pass and SANFL app radio coverage. Phil Aspinall, John Nankerville. Some scores from around the grounds, John. We have nearing full-time at Woodville. The Eagles 11-12-78, defeating the Bloods 4-6-30. And at Prospect, scores a little bit more open now. Sturt 3-3-21, trailing an inaccurate Bloods 4-10-34. Myself and I backing up again and at the parade tomorrow for a good game between South and Norwood. As the Dogs have the footy through Gillard, the hand pass left a little bit to be desired, but found Travis Schiller. He gives off there his fellow ball magnet in Boyd. Off the left boot, kicks to half forward, Proud. Fantastic, courageous mark there. Strong overhead there by the captain of the Tigers. It was a great mark, John. Fantastic.
He just does those, we know about him with his 1%ers and how he does them, but those skillful things too come pretty easily to Max Proud.
Sister Maddie, a talented netballer as well, playing with the Adelaide Thunderbirds and Sydney Swifts. As from the kick towards half forward by Proud, intercepted there by Thompson, but then intercepted in his kick by a player in Nicholson. He's hit the post earlier with a shot on goal, goes back inside 50. Hanneth at the back, couldn't quite nudge his opponent out, follows up nicely. Bailey there with the crumb, gives it off there to McBean, threads the handball. Back there looking for Kluski, taken to ground in a tackle by Weaver. And veteran SANFL umpire Mr. Crosby comes in and says, my footy. Andrew Crosby just clearing a path out the back, throws the footy up. Hanneth front position, did really well, but it was down to a former teammate and good friend in Jared Schiller. The kick towards Butcher, couldn't quite trap it. McCarthy there just opens a path for his captain in Proud. He gives it off there to Parks. Inside 50, the kick ill-directed and marked underneath the time clock that says we're about to go 21 minutes. And marked there by Troy Menzel. Said earlier, played 40 games of SANFL footy for the Crows. It was actually 30 of SANFL footy for the Crows, 4 at AFL level for Adelaide and 40 games for the Carlton Blues. Remember seeing his debut out here, John, against the Roosters. He wore number 60 and he was a 16-year-old, so a talented player is Menzel, and it's now with the Tigers in the middle of the Ponderosa through Edwards.
Edwards' kick may come off here. Allen picked it up nicely. Gets it up there looking for Yates. Kicked a nice goal earlier in this third quarter. Yates' handball over the top to Nicholson. Here's a goal coming up, you would think, for the Tigers. It is. He makes up for the poster earlier as Nicholson gets his first. 21.5 gone in this third term. And it's Glenelg. They go out to 11-10-70. Central 5-4-34. And they're just starting to just get out to dangerous position now in terms of a lead.
Yeah, you touched on Nicholson earlier, John. He's developed into a nice regular footballer. Had a few injuries this year in and out of the side, but the teacher by trade certainly taught the Doggies defenders a lesson there and threaded his way through traffic beautifully and kicked a lovely goal.
He was excellent and did it very nicely. Haven't had very long quarters. This third term has gone 22 minutes, so important these goals in time on for both sides.
Yeah, the Dogs just restricted so far to 1 goal 1, while Glenelg have managed to kick 5 goals 4 into this third term. First 2 quarters going 25 minutes, just under 26 in fact. So we're back in the middle. Game high margin now for the Tigers, 36 points. Thompson does well to take it from the hit out. Clearing kick towards half forward. McCarthy attacked it nicely. Now to Motlop, gives it there to Jackson Edwards off the left. Kicks to his brother Luke. Up against a fellow youngster there in short, and then ricocheted off the boot there of the Tiger player in Agnew. Kicks it towards half forward. First to the ball should be Olsen for the Dogs. Tries to get away from Kluski. Back to Toner. The hand pass didn't quite find a target. Spills back in the direction there of Oliver Short. Kicks around the body looking for grub. Good spoil there by Edwards, but taken nicely there by Travis Schiller. Kicks towards Stevenson, who's back out on the ground after an ankle injury. The handball from Boyd looked good in board there for Jared Schiller. Now to O'Brien. Back to Travis Schiller. Kicks inside 50. Hoskin on the lead. Can't quite take it. Impeded for Mine over the shoulder. Umpire David Soberage put the whistle to mouth. Was going to pay it, I reckon, but decided against it. And it's gone over the boundary line. Forward pocket down there at the club room or southern end. 23 minutes gone in the third term. The Tigers 10-10-70. Central 5-4-34. The Bulldogs not without a win in 2020. Sitting at the bottom of the table as Partington clears from the contest. The Dogs have numbers back. Well done by Patterson. Ducking under the tackle there was Weaver. His hand pass set a task for his teammate in Shaw. It spills back out to the ruckman in Thompson. He's got pretty good skills for a big man, and he spots up Menzel. So Menzel off the left, looking there for Schiller, set a task for Travis. Front on contact paid against Nicholson. Carl Nicholson and the Tigers fans not happy, but I reckon maybe umpire David Soverage making up for the non-call earlier. The kick inside looking for Butcher. Good spoil by McCarthy. Park taken in a tackle by Olsen. Nothing doing, said the umpire. And we'll have a ball up inside attacking 50. 24 gone. It's the Tigers by 36 points. You're with John Nankerville.
As the umpire twirls at sky with 24 gone. Third quarter, as Phil Aspinall said, and now working it out through handball. Central, Toner, inside 50. Great defensive mark there. Big update, a good grab is Park. Saving the day for the Tigers. Got rid of one of his boots. And now he'll look to go short and find Partington.
It was well done by Proud as well, John, because he just took the central player there in Stevenson, not took him out, but just held him away from the contest with the bodywork.
As Partington goes towards half-back, players diving in all directions. Ball at ground level. Good attack on the footy by the Dogs. They'll get a second chance here. Little kick was nice and found Menzel. Dogs need a late goal. This could be it as Stevenson stands up and takes the grab for Central. He's been threatening to do something all day, Stevenson. 25 minutes gone, third term, and now here is his chance to line up for goal for the Doggies. Bring the margin back to 5 goals, close to three-quarter time. Man from the Coolum Grasshoppers, what's he done? It's crossed the face through for a rush behind. 25 and a half gone, third quarter, and it is a 35-point lead to the Tigers.
1 goal, 4 on the season now for Murray Stevenson as Jackson Edwards takes the kick out. Beautiful pass, finds a teammate there in Angus Weir. Jack Toner claiming he touched it. But Weir, as John said, the boy from Rope, kicks down the line looking for McBean. Couldn't quite take it in his toes. Taken to ground in a tackle there by Olsen. And then just nudged over the boundary line by Parks. McBean and Olsen just wanting to have a little bit of argy-bargy afterwards. But the ball has been over the boundary line. And the umpire's going to hurl it back into play. Right in front of your broadcast position. We hope you're enjoying the Digital Pass and SANFL radio coverage. Don't forget, check out sanfldigitalpass.com.au. As Hannah takes it from the ruck, kicks it towards half forward. Montgomery, Courage in front position. Toner first to the footy, gives it there to a teammate in Shaw, but his kick has been intercepted by Nicholson. So Carl Nicholson, as we said earlier, his dad Scott played some reserves for the Bloods back in the 80s. Kicks down the line, flying Montgomery again. At the back there, Patterson brings it to ground. Snook been a little bit quiet since that opening quarter. Beautiful little tap by Partington off to McBean inside 50. Sliding in and taking a nice intercept mark was Jackson Kelly, son, of course, of 95 Brownlow medalist Paul, who I think watches in on the Digital Pass. So if you're watching over there in Wagga, Paul, sorry that your Doggies aren't doing that well, but plenty of talent out there with your lads. Young son Ben in the reserves as well. Big win in the reserves for the Bulldogs. 18-5-1-13, defeating Glenelg 11-10-76. But in the league, it is the Tigers 10-10-70, leading the Bulldogs 5-5-35. We'll get some scores from around the ground shortly as well as we're approaching three-quarter time. Centering on that outer side, the ball thrown back into play. Thompson on a hit out on this occasion. Travis Schiller did well, gave it to brother Jared, who just had a touch of the fumbles, and Weir for the Tigers intercepted. It came through the hands there of Billy Stretch, who's been pretty quiet today. Back in the hands now of Hoskin, who just kicked short rather. And the kick just going the required distance, and the outstretched fingertips of Toner marks. He switches it now. The Dogs are away on this outer side, on this broadcast side rather. And it's in the hands of Madden. His kick couldn't quite find Menzel. And then just doing a leapfrog over the top of Menzel was Parks as Troy went to ground. And the ball ricochets over the boundary line. So some scores around the grounds. It is full time in the game at Woodville. The Eagles 11-12-78 defeated the Bloods 4-6-30. And North kicking away 6-10-46. The Double Blues 3-3-21, John.
As from the restart, Kelly, little chip kick towards half forward, knocked down, trapped close to the line. Yates pushed over by Butcher, throw in. Half forward for the for the Central side. He's trailed by 35 points, closing in on three-quarter time. Umpire brings it back into play, and there in fact is the siren. So at three-quarter time, it is the Tigers leading this contest. They've doubled Central's score. It is Glenelg 10-10-70, Central's 5-5, 35. A 35-point lead for the reigning premier. And Phil Aspinall has your goal scorers to three-quarter time, Phil.
Thanks, John. Darcy Bailey with 3, 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third. And then all singles there, 2 to Luke Partican rather, and then singles to Liam McBean, Matthew Snook, also Matt Allen and Jack Yates. But I reckon it's threatening a little bit, and I reckon the temperature's just dropped about 5 degrees in the last couple of minutes.
I reckon it has, mate. I'll just give you some of the individual stats winners before we resume for the final quarter. Just for Glenelg, Nicholson, Partington, 20 apiece, Agnew, Snook, 19, Hanneth and Proud, 16 apiece, and then Jackson Edwards, Liam McBean, Marlon Motlop and Parks, 12 each, while for the Doggies, just quickly, Trav Schiller, 30, leads the way, Boyd, 22, Menzel, 22, Jared Schiller 20, Toner 18, Hoskin 17.
As we're underway in this final term, umpire Crosby holds the ball aloft, and the first voice you'll hear, John Nankerville.
As Hanneth been very good for mine for the Tigers, gets it down to probably Central's best for mine, Trav Schiller, as Thompson to Gillard. He fumbled at the crucial moment, opens the door for the unobtrusive Snook, get it back in the 1-2, and Partington bangs it on the boot, bouncing football, meeting it strongly, Reynolds couldn't quite pick it up. Trav Schiller slung around in the tackle. Partington got it over the top there to Weir. Weir's little give out towards Reynolds. Reynolds hurried kick into the forward line. Didn't get a good bounce. Motlop. Madden met it strongly for the Dogs and took it over.
We talked about the SANFL women before. Just saw former Bulldogs legend Greg Smith, one of my favourite players in the 90s. John, a real hard man. His daughter Shelby's playing some good footy for the Dogs in SANFL W, and the two here watching the men just saw them come up the grandstand. So great to see the father-daughter combination.
As ball back into play inside 50, McBean won it down from behind. Little handball came out to Snook, to McBean. Look away, handball for his fourth now. Bouncing ball, Bailey. Madden saves it on the line, thumps it through. First score of the final quarter are behind to Glenelg. They go to a 36-point lead, a minute gone.
So the Tigers, you expect in prime position to record their 4th victory of the year. Currently in 5th position, as John said earlier. As Nick Madden, former Port Magpie player, takes the kick out, goes to the outer side and spots up Troy Menzel. Got the Dan out, as we said earlier. It's a shame not able to play. They've only played the one game of footy together, and that was round 1 against the Double Blues, where Dan injured the foot. As the Menzel kick goes to that outer side, Stevenson competes well, sees it over the boundary line. And we'll have a throw-in on that outer side. So 5-5-35 the Bulldogs. The Tigers, they're 10-11-71. The Tigers by 15 at quarter time, 9 at half time, and then 35 at the main change, or the last change rather, or Lemons time as they call it. As the ball's thrown back into play, the Tigers will go forward. Good pair of hands, almost paid out there to Yates. Good spoil though by the Doggies player in Gillard. Handball came out in the end there from the Tigers player. It comes back in board now. Running with a bounce towards the arc of 50. Matt Allen kicks towards goal off the left boot. And it's bounced through for a goal. Great finish there from Allen. Gets his second, both in this second half. And the former West Coast player kicks the first goal of the final term. And the Tigers 11th at the 2.5 minute mark. They go to 11-11-77. 42 points in front of the Tigers, 5-5-35. And class rises to the top, Johnny Nankerville, and that was a good finish, a quality finish from Matt Allen.
Yeah, good goal from Allen. Had a quietish sort of start to the game, but has come into it now with a couple of goals, as you said, and contributing in this performance by the Glenelg side. No doubt about that. As we mentioned, a former West Coast Eagle, and of course, happy to be home at the Tigers in what he hopes will be a big year for the club. Just getting in second there, 11 touches for the day, 2 goals, 1.
Real epitome of one of those big-bodied midfielders, John, because he's probably key position size at 6'3" or 4", but playing through the middle.
As getting it up to Snook there was Agnew. Snook's kick goes inside 50. Weaver, though, comes out, meets it strongly. He's well tackled by the aforementioned Allen. Tackle into the ground, and the ball up will occur at half forward left for this Glenelg side, who've taken control of the contest. They lead comfortably. Early days in this last quarter as Partington. Hurried kick. Taken here by Nicholson, who's been very good for Glenelg. Goes short, Kluski inside 50. Motlop pressured by Madden. Reynolds got it, but he's wrapped up in the tackle, and the ball up will result. It was the quick score check. 42 points to be exact. The lead to the Tigers. 4 gone in this final term was from the restart. High kick. Bailey marks it happily at half forward. Kicked a goal in each quarter. I don't think he'll score from here. But Bailey kicks long back towards the hot spot. 1 down. Patterson, who rolled that ankle in the second quarter. Hurried kick out towards half-back. Bouncing football. Trapped nicely by Proud. Goes searching for and finding Jackson Edwards, who he's wrapped up nicely in the tackle. Sort of toe-poked it out. Got it up to Durden. And the Doggies are away now with a high kick from Durden. Bouncing football. Boyd trapped it nicely. And wrapped up. Double tackle. Ball up the result.
Yeah, Boyd wanting to have a bit to say to umpire David Sobridge. Thought he got one over the shoulder from the resumption. The Hanneth hit out was beautiful. Down there to Partington. Good midfield combination. Partington goes to that outer side looking for Reynolds. He's been a little bit quiet on the goal front. In fact, hasn't registered a score today. Played further up the ground. And on this occasion, his kick finds Marlon Motlop. Boy from Wanderers in the Northern Territory kicks inside 50. McBean just nudged his direct opponent Patterson out under the footy. Legally, of course, and used his superior height to take a nice mark in the left forward pocket down there at the southern end. And John, it was quality work by the big man, lining up for goal number 2. Yeah,
he's had his moments, Dave McBean. Kicking's let him down occasionally, just with the 1 goal, 2 today. Chance for his second, but he's always a target, always dangerous, big Liam McBean.
He's kicked 22 goals on the year, currently leads the Ken Farmer medal race. James Rowe from the Eagles up there as well. So McBean, left forward pocket, southern end. Very deliberate in his approach. Ball starts to the left and stays that way. Through for a minor score. So 1 goal, 3 for McBean. 11-12-78 are the Tigers. Central 5-5-35. 6 minutes gone. Final term.
So the Doggies will bring it back into play. It's Gillard. Long kick out towards halfback. Hoskin flew high at the back. Park comfortably took the grab. We're going to have to give it over to Allen, who got a shove in the back in that contest from Hoskins. So Allen, 60 from goal. And now that'll be closer because he's managed to get a 25. Was it a free kick downfield?
Coming to
free
McBean.
Kick downfield to McBean. So the big man will line up from about 20 out, slight angle. And things just falling apart a bit for the Doggies. A bit of ill discipline creeping in as the Tigers looking to take this game well and truly away from them.
You didn't quite see what the free was for, John, but Wyatt Patterson, the man on the mark. But McBean, he's had plenty of looks at the goal today. 1 goal, 3, as we said, lining up for his second.
So Liam McBean, the former Richmond Tiger, for goal number 2, has nailed it. 2 goals, 3 today to McBean. And on that scoreboard, it is Glenelg powering away to a 49-point lead. 7 gone final term. And things just falling apart badly now for the Dogs.
Yes, indeed, John. The story of the year for them, not being able to get 4 quarters of consistent footy together. They were certainly in it at half-time, just trailing by 9 points, but certainly been one-way traffic since then. And I think the 5th goal that they kicked through Durden early in the 3rd term has been all she's wrote since then. As the sole Glenelg supporter up in the grandstand, waving her flag. Good on to the young supporter there. I love the SANFL fans being passionate about their club in this 2020 truncated season. I like that word, truncated. John, you said it at the start of the call. It was great work there from the athletic big man in Thompson. Breaks through the middle of Ex-Convenience Oval, kicks towards half forward and marked by Stevenson. So Big Murray, the boy from the Coolaman Grasshoppers, leads out full-chested and takes the mark. 20 out directly in front. And as much as his colours have been lowered by Big Hanneth today, I think Brodie Thompson, John, certainly hasn't given up the contest.
He's fought hard. Hanneth, one of the best on ground. I'll be giving you the votes, the digital pass at full time, but yeah, he's fought hard today.
As Stevenson comes in and kicks the Dogs 6th. Murray gets his first. Central 6-5-41. They're 43 points behind the Tigers, 12-12-84. 8 minutes gone in the 3rd term. And as I said, John, Murray Stevenson has played most of his footy out here at the Dogs as a defender, but certainly competes well as a tall forward down there in the goal square.
It's probably like a few more goals out of him. I think he competes well. He's a big man. He tries very hard. He can't question his endeavour. Can't question his physicality. Just probably a few more goals here and there. But then he's not the only one up there for the Doggies who struggled to put the goals on the board in season 2020.
Some other scores quickly from around the grounds. We know that the Eagles have beaten Westies by 48 points, and it is the Roosters kicking away against the Double Blues, 61-22.
It was Boyd tackled by Hanneth. Boyd got the handball out in the end to Menzel. Olsen had it knocked down by Stretch, the former Melbourne Demon. Wrapped up in the tackle, loose ball. Olsen was good to Boyd. Boyd's quick kick inside 50, bouncing, coming through. Edwards couldn't quite pick it up. Hoskin did well, knocked it along in front of himself, got it up to Harble, and Harble makes it back-to-back goals for the Doggies. Well, that's what they need to do. They can't let Glenelg blow them away. 9.5 gone in this last quarter, and Central get their 7th. They go to 7-5-47, Glenelg 12-12, 84. They do have a habit of these stirring last quarter comebacks, Central. We saw one against Nord at the parade a few weeks ago. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but back-to-back goals when Harble gets his first.
Certainly was a captain's goal. I mean, captain's goals are often spoken of when the team really needs a lift, and I think the game's all over bar the shouting, but Luke Harble, we might as well mention it one more time. John, a good connection to the New South Wales Riverina Club, the Ganmain Grong Matong Lions.
The Lions, yeah, that's
Lions.
right. The Lions. It's about, I think it's Ganmain, Grong and Matong, so it's three different
towns,
clubs
correct.
all merging and coming up with that beauty of a name.
Yeah, Luke Harble played in a flag for those with Sammy Milne, I reckon. A Doggies player out there in the reserves earlier today is back underway. Throw, so a free kick going the way of Central, and a bit of momentum for the Dogs. Got Thompson flanking him to his left. He was going to go that direction, but plays on now through the middle with Ex-Convenience Oval. Looking there for Stevenson, presents well, standing under it there courageously McCarthy. Back to Bradley, now off to Agnew. Off a step, just sets up a bit of a rainmaker. Thompson sits under it, but it spills in the direction there of Yates. The underground handball was clever, but Kluskis hadn't had the greatest of days. Turns it over, holding the ball. Thompson gives it off to Boyd. Possession leading winner in the competition, down to Stevenson. Big Murray clutches it one-handed. Just used some upper body strength there to hold out his direct opponent in Young Park. And Stevenson, John, lining up for his second in as many minutes.
Yeah, well, we know Central do like these stirring last quarter comebacks. We saw it at the parade. Lining up for goal number 2, Stevenson. Would be 3 in a row for the Dogs. They're not out of it, but they're a long way behind.
So Stevenson has kicked it. 2 in 2 minutes for the Doggies, or 3 rather in 2 minutes, and at the 11-minute mark, Central get their 8th, 8-5-53. They're 31 points behind the Tigers, 12-12, 84. And Stevenson gets his second. And John, he must have heard you because you said he needs to kick more goals. 2 in a minute for the big man. He's
done well, and it's great to see the effort, the reward for effort there for Big Stevenson. And, well, 11 minutes gone, final term. They're not out of this, the Doggies. I know it sounds crazy. They were 49 points down a few minutes ago, but they keep believing they could be a chance, but all it's going to take, though, is one goal from the Tigers, and I think that'll silence things. As Hanneth leaps high, wins it down to Snook. Agnew gets away from Boyd, back to Snook, who comes out here towards this outer wing. Bouncing football. Nicholson, did he get a touch on it before he went out? He didn't. O'Brien he's away and running. No, he must have got there.
Yeah, just got a fingertip on it, and the boundary umpire was in the perfect position, John.
So it's going to be thrown back into play. Members wing. Important ball. As the ruckman, side by side. From behind, Hanneth won it down. Gillard pressured all the way. Sort of toe pokes at it. Out of bounds. Snook with the foot. Not too sure what's happening here.
Well, James Boyd wanting out on the full.
Umpire's conversion is going to be a boundary throw-in. So boundary throw-in again in front of the interchange benches. And slapped down by Thompson, only as far as Nicholson. He puts Glenelg towards 50. McBean is going to get a free here. Patterson not happy, but McBean will take it. He's right on 50. We'll test him, but he is within range. He's going to go with the longest kick to the goal square, though. Reynolds couldn't quite pull it down. As Socket in the end, he had 2 goes at it, and it's come off there for Kluski. So the Tigers do get the goal in the end. It wasn't pretty, but it might be the one that silences the Doggies. Kluski gets his first.
Yeah, he hasn't had the greatest of days at the office, John, but Lux of Fortune and Jack Kluski, who his first soccer off the ground attempt was goalkeepered out and then ricocheted off his boot and through for a goal. So Good work there by the 22-year-old who, as we said, played some SANFL footy previously with the Port Magpies, and I think the game was always beyond the Doggies. They've certainly shown some fight, but class is rising to the top there for the Tigers, John.
Yeah, certainly is. I mean, look, with those goals, 3 goals in a row, Central had time if they were good enough. But as I said, all it was going to take was 1 goal from Glenelg, and I think that might be it.
So 14 gone, 37-point deficit in favour of the Tigers. Glenelg haven't had a great record out here. Central have won 9 of the last 10 and 24 of the last 26. So wins at the Ponderosa are rare for the Tigers. As Hoskin gets the clearance, gives it off now to a teammate there in Jared Schiller. Good attack on the footy there from Stevenson again. Frees up a hand pass. Off to Durden, off the non-preferred left, inside 50, looking for Butcher. Could have been held. Butcher did well to get to it and keep it in play. Or in fact, get a fingertip on it rather, so it's not a last possession free. So a rare forward foray for the Doggies. We've had a few in this final term, made a bit of a contest of it, but have been outclassed for the majority of the game. So ball thrown in, northern end. Butcher does the ruck work. Proud, taken to ground by Travis Schiller. Coming in over the top there was Grubb with the tackle. In fact, it was Jackson Kelly. Clearing kick towards this broadcast wing. McBean there for the Tigers. Weaver first there for the Bulldogs, though. The former reserves best and fairest winner. High up and under kick. Looking there for Hoskin. Harble couldn't quite take it. Coming back now to Weaver. Kicks around the body inside 50. Hanneth should trap it. He couldn't quite take it cleanly. Well done by Gillard. Off to the voice of Travis Schiller. Swings around the corner looking for Menzel. Sitting under a Butcher. In fact, a free kick going the way of the Tigers. A push paid against Troy Menzel. Ball spilled into the lap there of John Butcher, who wasn't too happy about the non-decision. And the Glenelg player's down. I reckon it's Max Proud. A little gingerly getting up to his feet, but a free nonetheless. And the courageous captain of the Tigers, John, will take the free kick in the defensive back 50.
Correct call for mine. Though I can understand Butcher's frustration as Proud brings it out wide. McBean and Patterson wrestling for it. Menzel Crumb nicely. Little give over the top to Gillard. Gillard hooks back to the top of the goals. And goal! How about that bounce from Gillard? I was watching Stevenson in the contest. The ball's bounced 2 metres in front of him and just hooked back through for a goal to Gillard. So Central get another one. They keep their crazy sort of chance of hopes alive. They go to 9-5-59. Glenelg 13-12-90. 16 gone fourth quarter, but that's a bounce for the ages to the boy Nick Gillard.
Yeah, absolutely, John. One of the rare SANFL grounds that doesn't have cricket played on it, but Shane Warne would have been impressed with the turn on that one down there in the goal square.
Well, Lux goes there one that occasion. Central Gillard with his first. Beautiful long-range cricket kick. Ball bouncing away from everyone, bouncing through the goals.
So the Dogs, bit of respectability on the scoreboard. They've been out-muscled for the majority of the day. Tigers flexing their muscle at the moment with a 31-point advantage as we're back in the middle. Schiller, Jared Variety, got it there from Menzel. Off now to the boy from Salisbury North, the youngster, his first season of SANFL footy, Jordan O'Brien. The whistle's gone, holding the ball, paid against the Tigers and Andrew Bradley. And James Boyd has the footy now. A long time ago he was playing for South Adelaide, also from the Eagles. Inside 50, Stevenson with the one mitt, couldn't take it. Butcher dispossessed in the tackle. Good work by Jackson Edwards. Unlucky not to be rewarded holding the ball. And he's sitting on the footy. Umpire comes in and says, my ball. So left forward pocket, deep down there at the northern end. 17 gone in this final term. Butcher wins the hit out uncontested. Down to Proud, dispossessed in the tackle. Stevenson does well. Hard up against the line. Butcher tries to get boot to ball. Stevenson just dribbles it towards the line. And escorting it over is the Tigers player, Luke Parks. Plucked by the from the Panthers, John. Luke Parks trained with South Adelaide in the pre-season, but a phone call from Paul Sandico to Luke Parks. Sandico, the footy manager at the Tigers, got him to come to Brighton Road, and he's been a fantastic acquisition. So ball thrown in down there at the northern end. Motlop clears it momentarily for the Tigers, but his kick's going to go out of bounds on the full. The recipient of the free will be the former Rooster boy from Golden Grove, Wyatt Patterson, with the ball for the Dogs.
So Wyatt Patterson is being pointed to go long by teammates. Go long he does. Butcher through from the side though. McBean fists to the boundary. 18 gone, final term. Glenelg by 31.
When I say the boy from Golden Grove in Patterson, went to Glenunga High, played his SANFL junior footy at North and 3 league games, had a year off SANFL footy, played at the Kookaburras, the Golden Grove Kookaburras, and back in the SANFL with the Dogs.
As McBean, Butcher did some roving, got it to Schiller illegally, says the umpire. Butcher heartbroken at that call. And Snook will take the free for the Tigers. He goes short, finds Jackson Edwards, who finds McCarthy, and Glenelg chipping it out of their defensive 50 zone. As Parks has got it. Kicks down the wing. Nice mark taken there by the Tigers. Some run for Luke Edwards. Just pops it over the top. And Glenelg go towards half forward. Knocked down. Partington lurking. Picked it up nicely. Going to get caught in as he gets it away now. He does get it away inside 50. Able to complete the mark. Allen, great little handball. Weir tackled the ground. Bailey as he came charging through. Might get another opportunity here. Darcy Bailey. In the end, Montgomery got it up to O'Brien. He'll get it back in the 1-2. O'Brien hears the voice of Hoskin, goes in that direction. Spoiled by McBean illegally. And Hoskin will get the free kick at defensive 50 for Central.
Yeah, the Dogs fans not happy, John, but front on contact, the free kick was definitely there.
Hoskin to Gillard, who kicked that wonderful bouncing goal moments ago. Goes out wide to Madden, the former Port Adelaide Magpie player, who can kick towards halfback Menzel. Takes it on the bounce, out there in front of some cold Tiger fans, but they'll be enjoying the score as Shaw kicks down the wing. McCarthy, spoiling his Central opponent, opens the door for Partington. Now Virgin, the former Rooster, goes down the wing. And the footy is out there on that outer wing with Partington, or Bradley should I say. Bradley's kick towards half forward. Allen caught behind. Ball in dispute at ground level. Bailey flicked it up. Some run from Stretch to Hanneth. Now Bailey again goes short to Motlop. Motlop at half forward for the Tigers. Handballs, or tried to handball. It's held in now by Olsen, and the ball up will result. We've hit time on in this fourth quarter. The Tigers by 31 points.
So the ball inside of the attacking square for the Tigers. The kick from Motlop intercepted by Weaver. Couldn't quite get clean possession. Then Bailey was clean with a hand pass. The kick from Stretch was partially smothered. Spills into the hands of Boyd. His kick off the left boot, looking there for Hoskin. Virgin first to the footy, taps it towards the boundary line. Umpire says throw it in. That was deliberate every day of the week for mine, John. Virgin getting away with one there.
Agreed.
Would have definitely been paid in the AFL, but we are in the SANFL. And umpire David Saberage thought against paying it against Michael Virgin. So the ball's tossed back into play. Hanneth up against Thompson. Both ruck manfully all day for their respective sides. Gillard, the kick around the corner. Looking there for a teammate, but couldn't be found. And Callum Park did well to intercept for the Tigers. Just slow to get to his feet. It spills in the hands there of Stevenson. Here's the voice inboard of a teammate in Durden. The kick inboard is good. And it spots up a teammate there in Menzel. Rolls around on his left boot. He's got Butcher all alone inside attacking 50. And John Butcher's marked about 30 out on a slight angle. He's going to play on and snap around the corner and kick a goal. However, the umpire's given it the all clear. I thought he was going to come back and get him over the mark, but it was all she wrote was the goal for Butcher. So John Butcher gets his first, playing in number 42 today, and the Dogs get their 10th. They go to 10-5-65. They trail the Tigers 13-12-90. He certainly battled hard all day, John, and finally a little bit of reward for effort on the scoreboard for big Johnny Butcher.
A brave man to have pulled him back and said kick it again. He would have been apoplectic, Johnny Butcher. But great reward, as you say. He's tried hard in the ruck and up for, gets his first, but sadly too late for the Central side. They've battled manfully, but Glenelg just too classy when it counts.
Yeah, John Butcher, as you said, come out of retirement to play again. Played 68 games for the Magpies when he was on the power list, and played in a flag at Maffra, his home club, last year under his dad who coached them.
Back in the ruck. It's one down by the Doggies. Thompson, high kick Jared Schiller. Trapped nicely by Virgin. Got it out there to Agnew, who's been very good for the Tigers today. Drives them towards half forward. McBean working hard. Motlop to Bailey. Umpire's found a throw here, I think.
Yeah, against Motlop.
And it's going to come back to Gillard. Doggies fans appreciated that, so Gillard goes back inside defensive 50. Thompson just happy to chip it round the Central side. Tigers led by 35 points at three-quarter time as Harble chips it up. Now they're going to win by, well, they lead now by the very comfortable margin of 25 points. And just stuffing around with it here are the Doggies, and it may cost them as here come the Tigers back inside 50. And McBean will say thank you very much and stroll in and kick his third. Just doing too much when they didn't need to, Central. Open the door for the Tigers. They came in, found McBean, and the big man target that he is kicks goal number 3. They go back out to that 31-point lead. Game high of 49. They won't get back to that, but they are in command here at the Ponderosa.
Yeah, another goal as a result of an error from the Dogs, and Nick Gillard just coming off for the Bulldogs now. Certainly made the error by not being aware of his tackler from behind, but great effort from Cole Nicholson as well. John didn't give up the ghost.
He's been great.
Such an underrated SANFL player. And McBean on the end of the handiwork of Nicholson. So 31 points, as John said, 24 and a half gone in this final term. SANFL digital pass action, Phil Aspinall, John Nankerville. We're back on air again tomorrow, covering the Norwood and South game at the Parade. A snook for the Tigers, goes inside 50, gets a lead from Reynolds. A rare quiet day today, well held by Montgomery. Montgomery, he couldn't quite get the tackle on. Hand pass over the top, looking for McBean, but well done by the Dogs' defence. Weaver gets a hand pass out for Montgomery. The boy from Angaston had his kick partially smothered. Handball back over the top, was a little sloppy. Toner there gets boot to ball eventually, but it should favour Partington, who attacked the footy nice and cleanly. Good tackle in there from Weaver. Spills out in the direction now of a Tigers player in Bradley. Rare inside forward 50 there for the former Tiger. Off to Hanneth. Kicks off his left boot. Inside 50 now. Partington can kick towards goal from 45. Drifting through. Motlop couldn't quite mark it, and it's dribbled through for a minor score. So 14-13, 97 are the Tigers, as we have a Bays player down who's requiring a stretcher.
Yeah, we must see just a halt to play. We've gone 25 and a half minutes in this final quarter, and there is a Glenelg player down there at 50. I'm just trying to make him out. The trainers are all around him.
I think it might be, is it Weir?
Just look as he is helped up, which is great to see.
Oh, it's Luke
it's
Edwards.
Not Weir, it's Luke Edwards. I think he's taken a knock, judging by the grogginess of the young man there. Shame to see just the final few minutes of the game, but he is up, which is good, and is being helped from the ground by the trainers.
You know what I reckon it was, John? I reckon he smothered. He got the ball kicked into his face. There was a smother that did come from close range, and I reckon it hit him in the face, and he's very, very groggy, and he's coming off, and he'll be done for the day because he hasn't come through the interchange bench.
Well, there'll only be a matter of minutes remaining as Patterson, long kick towards half forward. Nice mark pulled down, though, for the Tigers, and they can attack again here through Parks. That was good from the Glenelg trainers. They got on it quickly, and good to see the young man, Luke Edwards, up and walking off the ground. But that does hurt. Heavy ball in the face. We've all been there, anyone who's played footy at any level, as Madden to Trav Schiller, now James Boyd. And James Boyd just works it to Hoskin. At half back, Hoskin hooks it back. Jared Schiller there, fisted away from him. How will it bounce? Back towards Shaw to Hoskin. Working with handball, Jared Schiller to James Boyd. Knocking up stats, some of the Centrals players. Stevenson kicked a couple this quarter, dives in, couldn't take the mark. Schiller was tackled, got a little give out. Now Boyd off a step. Will kick long down towards half forward, but getting back and taking the saving mark there for the Tigers is Allen.
Mark Stone, the Tigers coach, he's been down at boundary level since half-time. Just actually entered the playing arena. Johnny got a bit excited and took a couple of steps inside the field of play. As the Tigers have the footy, they've kicked it inside the centre square here at the Ponderosa, and it's Agnew. We'll go backwards now and find Virgin. He's got to switch onto this broadcast side. He's got Partington in some space. And equally in space over the top there is the Tigers player and Darcy Bailey. He'll go forward now inside 50. McBean should mark. And he does. 45 out on about a 60-degree angle. We'll be right behind it in the commentary position. So Liam McBean, an interesting day at the office. Kicked 3 behinds. He's also kicked 3 goals. 2 of those behinds were from pretty close range. So McBean, the jumper number 1. Had the long sleeves on earlier, as we said. Side leading, 14-13, 97. Central, 10-5, 65. 28 gone in this final term. We're right behind it on the digital pass with Liam McBean. Can he get his 4th? Right on the paint of 50. It's a good-looking kick. It's trying to work back. It's a goal. Classy finish from a classy forward. Liam McBean with 4. 15-13, 103 the Tigers. They can raise the bat. Central 10-5-65, 28 and a half gone, and John Nankerville, he hasn't had the greatest of kicking days, Liam McBean, but there he proved his capabilities.
Yeah, that was great stuff from the big fella McBean. He's finished with 4, all in this second half, 3 in this final quarter. Hasn't had the greatest of days, but he still had an impact, a big impact on the game. It shows us how dangerous he can be for Glenelg and why he's so good when they are up and playing their best footy, why he can be so damaging at full forward.
Some final scores from around the grounds. We have a full-time score, as we said earlier, from Woodville. It is the Eagles 78 over Westies 30, and at Prospect, the Double Blues making a little bit of a go of it, but they're trailing 8 goals 14, 62 for the Roosters, 6-7-43 the Double Blues.
Back in the middle, Thompson won it down. Trav Schiller was 36 touches, has been excellent for Central. Menzel got it to Toner. He kicks towards Stevenson, couldn't quite pull it in. Little handball from McCarthy. And now a chance for Glenelg to clear through Yates out to the outer wing. The Tigers have the footy out here through stretch. Wants to show some run and dash. Does so as he goes, looking for Bailey at half forward. He was spoiled at the last minute. Picked up there by Motlop. Little look away handball. Bailey again. He's got Partington short. 31 touches for Partington as he drives. Glenelg inside 50. McBean trapped it. McBean dribbles and hits the inside of the post. Could have been 5, but just whacking the post. And the big man almost pulling off something brilliant.
That would have been goal of the year, John. So 4 goals, 4 for Liam McBean. So, certainly for mine, that is point of the year.
Yes.
Luke Harble kicks to a teammate there in Toner. Recruit from Wangaratta was going to play VFL footy with Sandringham, but came to the SANFL. Kicking board is a good one, and Olsen, Markle free kick, take your pick. He switches now to that outer side, and at half back it's marked there by Menzel. Certainly been one of the Dogs' best today. Troy Menzel just lopes towards centre wing, has a bounce, kicks towards the leading teammate there in Stevenson. Obviously the sting well and truly gone in this game. 31 minutes gone. It's now with Travis Schiller. He'll go inside 50, puts it towards the top of the square. Butcher flies. Ball spills now out towards Shaw. Just a touch of the fumbles. Can't quite take it. Reynolds down there in defence. Parks coming through for the Tigers. Harble in there for the Dogs. Parks applies a tackle. Harble can't break it. And 30 out from Central's goal. We'll have a ball up. 39-point lead to the Tigers. 31 gone in the final term. Butcher, he's won himself a freezy from the ball up. High contact. It's in fact going to go to the Tigers. I think, no, it's going to Justin Hoskin. So Hoskin kicked the game's first goal, John. Ironically, may kick the game's last goal.
Yeah, siren sounds. Yeah, siren sounds. It will be a win to the Tigers. The final score yet to be determined, but as Hoskin begins his run in.
Kicks to the northern end. 30 out on the slide angle. Kicks truly. Kicks his second. So consolation prize for the Bulldogs. They kicked their 11th. They're 11-5-71. They've lost to the Tigers 15-14-104. A 33-point win to the Bulldogs. That final to the Tigers rather. Final term going 31 minutes and 30 seconds, and a comprehensive win for Glenelg. They led all day. 15 at quarter time, 9 at half time, 35 at three-quarter time, and run out victors to the tune of 33 points. John Nankerville, can you give us the goal kickers?
I will indeed. I hope I've managed to dot the ball down. There was a few flying left, right and centre there. For Glenelg, 4 goals to McBean. All in that second half, 3 in that final term. 3 to Darcy Bailey. Then we saw 2 each to Luke Partington and Matt Allen. And then we have the single goal scorers, Matt